I see you. All right. What's
And
up,
I
YouTube?
will. Hello, everybody.
Hi, Lil. Hi, Robin. How are you folks doing?
I am okay. I will be back shortly because somebody at my family needs me real quick.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
All right, be right
All
back.
right.
Hey,
Hey, what's up, Robin?
not much. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you. This is the a stream to kind of celebrate making it to 1,500 subscribers. Obviously, I couldn't do it without you folks. You are the subscribers.
I thought maybe
So,
I thought maybe it was my witchcraft still working.
I mean, maybe so. We
We done that a long time ago, didn't we?
Yeah, that was what our first year, going on 2 years ago. For that particular date. Um,
Yeah. I'm a little slow. My magic
or
slow.
was it? Is this? It's going on 3 years ago, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you in the chat. I appreciate it. Uh, the we kind of it's been ups and downs. The the numbers kind of plateaued out for a while and whatever, and I didn't. I'm not disappointed with any of that, and um, it does that though. It's done that a number of times along the way. Things kind of slow down and pick up, and videos do better and worse and all that. I may bitch or something if I have a video that performs poorly, but like I don't really like care that much. It all equals out in the end, and 1,500 people decided the channel is worth subscribing to. That's the thing I'm going by today. So yeah, that's awesome. It's not something I expected to happen, but I'm very happy that it did. Uh, I I was messing around, and I'll. This isn't. It wasn't planned to be something because we made it to 1,500 subscribers. It was just. I was just messing around. Lil said something the other day that made me think about it, and so I went over and look, I'm not trying to sell you on why is this weird like I'm not trying to sell you on buying my stuff or whatever. I don't care if you do or not. But we made some cool stuff, or I made some cool stuff and put in the store. And we got a whole collection of flying monkey stuff and a politicality shirt and a best friends forever with Trump and Epstein shirt and all the other Kentucky atheist stuff that was already there. But yeah, the emoji that you have in chat for members is now on some shirts and stuff, and coffee cup and stickers and a hat. I like the little hat, the little trucker hat with the little tiny flying monkey on it. Um, just I hadn't done anything to update any of that stuff in well over a year, and so I did. And there's links down there in the description if you want to go check that stuff out. But I was really just sharing it, not really trying to promote it or anything. Um, People who talk to me know it's there, and if you want to look at it, you can. I don't really care. It's there if you want it. Um, what have you been doing today, Robin? Having computer problems?
No, I haven't had to have you come do anything. Wish I still got to get that other um, video downloaded. But yeah, I had my debate last night. So
I fell asleep early last night.
yeah,
That's what I said. Like I slept all kinds of weird hours.
I
I
noticed. I
slept.
noticed you in there. Like, I didn't have a moderator in chat. I looked over there and like there was some people in there. There was one person posting some crazy stuff in chat. So I like made deviant a mod. I was like, but
Yeah,
and Joe Cool showed up. He was there the entire time, and yeah, that was pretty cool. There was Scott from the Mirror Point, and Deviant, and I can't even remember who I was. I think David's came, but
I fell asleep about I don't know, this time yesterday, and then uh,
and
you
Ryan
can
Murphy was there
you
too.
can put yourself back on whenever you want, Will. I just okay. Um, I fell asleep about this time yesterday, maybe a little later, and
Hi, Dave.
woke up at like 1 o'clock in the
Come
morning, and then stayed up all
here.
night, and then fell asleep again at
Come
like 1 o'clock this afternoon.
here.
uh,
Come here.
oh,
Kip.
thank
Come
you,
here, Kip. Come here.
thank you for the congratulations.
Come here. Come here.
But
Yes, Kip says congrats. Hi.
what's
Kip,
up,
he's
Dade?
right here.
Hey,
I,
Kip.
I actually forgot something. Let me see if I can. If there's an, how can I send this link to this person? I told him I would send him a link. A new person, an atheist from Kentucky that just became an atheist and is looking to find people to talk to and stuff. Let me see. I'll just tell him that the link's in the chat and to come. Um,
Are they over by you?
no, they're over by you. Actually, they're in Hart County.
Oh my gosh, yeah, that's real
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
Oh my god, so what are you going to change your channel name to now that you are not the Kentucky Atheist? You are a Kentucky Atheist.
Oh, he's always sort of been that. Like that's how I met Joe. Was like we were in the line chant. Maybe Joe, is that where we were?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, the Kentucky Atheist. I'm from Kentucky too." We were like, "Wow."
Yeah.
That's what, 3
It
years?
was
I
kind of a
mean,
joke
hey,
anyway.
Seth.
What's
Hi,
up,
Seth. What's
everybody?
up?
How you doing?
Good.
Thanks
Good.
for coming and joining.
Congratulations, Joe.
Oh well, thank you, man.
You've earned
Uh,
it.
yeah, I it's weird, really, because whenever a long time ago, we did a Halloween stream. Robin was part of, and she did some witchcraft and for us to
Oh,
reach
is that what it
1,000
is?
subscribers. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
She did some voodoo stuff and said we was going to reach 1,000 subscribers, and
Mm.
that didn't really work out the way it was supposed to, but we did make it there, and
Right.
then for the last few months and stuff, it kind of plateaued out a lot for me and was moving kind of slow, and here recently, I think we were like stalled out at like 1420, 1430, something like that, and then it just started picking back up, and within a couple months made it to 1500.
Well,
But
Robin, I'm gonna send you a message about getting some of that voodoo for myself.
Yeah,
should
well,
come over and do it.
it may have slowed it down. I mean, like you
Oh
might
no.
have reached it faster.
Yeah, yeah, it did take quite a bit longer after that, and the Matt Dillahunty stream.
Hey,
Matt Dillahunty came on and shared the live with all of his people, and I got like 300 subscribers off that one stream, and that was a big part of it.
yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
yeah, but
Well, I was partly responsible for that.
well, Robin, you even if none of that would have happened, you'd be partly responsible. I mean, like you've been here
I know, but I mean,
since
like
the
I was the
beginning.
one that was like, Matt said he would do this. Yeah,
Yeah, the I mean, we've had a lot of people come on and stuff since then, and just met a lot of people and talked to so many people and stuff, and it's weird because
Mm-hmm.
it's along the way there's bumps and stuff along the way, and it's actually those things that have led to where we are now. It's not really I mean, I guess it's my doing, but at the same time it's like I couldn't have done it that way without those things happening, like
Mm.
the Tom Sheedies that came and tried to put their stupid shit out, and the co-hosts that decided to whatever, and all that nonsense. All of those things cause changes in direction and path and along the way, and so now here we are, which maybe we would have been somewhere else. I don't know, but I'm happy here. So you know, and if this is
Joe,
the last milestone the channel reaches, then fine, whatever, you know.
I don't think so. I don't think it'll be.
no, Joe has
Mm-mm.
rethought like the channel like several times since
Yeah.
like he like every 6 7 months or something like that he'll kind of go through a rethinking of the channel.
Yeah. I'm the ADD of atheist content creation. Just like total changes in like complete different direction. Uh, which is why you see so many different things here. Like sometimes I'll be debating creationists, and we took a period of time and went and fucked with Kent Hovind, and uh, then then I'll make stuff that's just atheist stuff, and now we're pretty much only putting out political
Politics.
content, and yeah, and who knows? Tomorrow might make something shitting all over creationists again. Who knows? I don't. I try not to miss those opportunities. But
I see,
Plenty
I,
of them out there, right?
I seen
Uh-huh.
you
yeah,
on Kelly's. I watched you on Kelly's show this morning, Seth. I
Oh
missed it,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. That's me and her been trying to get together for a long time, and I'm glad we were finally able to do that. And me and Lil just recorded a video 2 days ago. That's
Well,
Hey,
pre-recorded.
Deviant. Diva.
thank you, Deviant, for modding on my
Being
channel.
amazing.
Yeah, Duck was in chat. Just I don't know. I don't. He doesn't like Steven very much. I don't think, or
hey,
something.
you,
He was
the irony here is that I actually have to give a shout out to Stephen and Proverbs guys, because we were sitting at like 14.99, 14.98, like just needed a couple subscribers,
one. You need.
and it was actually Stephen and Proverbs guys over there that put us over the
Yeah.
1500 mark, which is strange, but
Joe
I'll take it.
said. Joe said. Joe sent me a thing. Said 14.99. He was like, I only need one. I was like,
Yeah,
give me a minute. So I texted Steven. I was like, get some people to subscribe to Joe's channel so I can get to 1,500. It was just like a
yeah,
few minutes later, Steven sent me back and it had like 1,504 or something.
yeah, yeah. We're at
Let's go.
1507 now, I think. A
Yeah.
few days later, so
Seth has some cool stuff coming out on his channel soon.
well, yeah.
Yeah, I borrowed your political analyst for an afternoon, and we talked Christian nationalism, and it was a great
yeah,
conversation. So that'll be.
I've
up
seen the
probably next
video.
week.
I haven't watched it, but I've seen the video. I haven't really watched. I spend so much time watching actual politics stuff to download clips, and like
Mhm.
I've already been clipping videos for the next show. So I
Yeah,
I
that's
have to set
for
through.
me. That's the toughest part at this
Oh
point
yeah,
of this community is there's not enough time to watch everybody's stuff.
yeah,
So like
Yeah.
you've got all these friends and they're all putting out videos, and somebody does a 1 hour live stream, and then somebody else does 2 hours, and then you've got some daily show, and then you filled up 6 hours of your day already. So for me that's the hard part to balance that, but
yeah.
it is what it is.
So usually, like the night before each political show, will get messages from me all night, because I'm out like picking clips, because I have to kind of wait till right before the show to do it, because if not, it's
Yeah.
all old stuff. Like it's just the
Right.
nature of it.
I mean, yeah, like there's there's like a whole kerfuffle going off about a fucking tweet that Trump put out, and like even Republicans are like, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Take it down now!"
The video.
Yeah,
Isn't that
there's a lot of
awful? Like,
Republicans who are like, "What the fuck, dude? Take it down."
can you believe this man is our president and puts that shit out on us?
My thing is like, how
Oh.
the fuck did you guys not know about this?
Oh,
Like,
come on.
really?
You think it's a coincidence that it's Black History Month and he did that? You
No.
think that's a coincidence?
I mean,
We
he
know
is
better.
just gone.
He knows exactly what he's fucking
Ugh.
doing. It was him that put it up.
There are no
like-
coincidences with Donald Trump,
mean-
okay?
No.
I mean, I have more respect for President Obama and Michelle every day for just being able to maintain
I
their
have-
base through
yeah,
this
I-
kind of crap. Just
I have significant issues with Obama and I have significant issues with Biden, but I would still take any of them. I would take fucking Bush over Trump any day, and that's fucking saying something coming from me.
I would take Nixon.
Yeah,
Who wants to explain what the
yeah.
video is?
I don't really want
It was an election fraud video, and at the very end, it showed like a 3-second clip of President Obama and Michelle Obama with their faces on monkeys' bodies.
it was.
It was
Dancing in the
blatantly racist.
jungle.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just unreal. It's unreal.
And then his fucking press secretary came out and tried to say, no, it was saying that Trump is king of the jungle, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you motherfucker, nobody's
They
buying
tried to say
that.
that. They tried to say that a staffer did it. Like it was like.
After,
Oh, yeah.
they tried to say a staffer did it after Caroline Levitt came out and said, no, it was intentional.
Yeah.
Oh.
All these people are just the grossest. There's Dave to tell us how he feels about it.
Dude.
Yes.
Excuse me.
Tell us how you feel about it. Ugh.
What's up, Dade? Well, Dade's
Yeah.
probably setting up his camera there. Take
Oh.
your time. Yeah, it was really racist and gross. And see, the thing is, too, is like, whenever I'm looking at content for our political show, I have to be like, I don't even want to show this. Like,
No.
because
No.
I'm not going to ever put that picture on screen.
No.
I mean, everybody knows where to find it, and it's all over the news, and you can go see it if you want, but I'm not going to show it.
I mean, and then like even if we bring that up on like Sunday, by the time we get there, everybody's either going to see it or everybody's going to at least know about it. So they'll know what the hell we're talking about. We don't need to show it.
I just still can't believe this is the world we live in.
This is our president representing us on a global stage. It's embarrassing.
I am so far past the I can't believe he did that, because like honestly there's nothing he could do that would fucking surprise me at this point. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and is like, hey, I nuked Russia today. I wouldn't bat an eye, because it's just like, of course you did, because you're a fucking reckless bastard.
He's not gonna nuke Russia, because
no, I know. I'm saying, like, there's literally nothing he could do that would shock me.
Putin would probably break up with him over that.
So this angry atheist clown in chat here is my new friend from Kentucky that I met.
Sup?
And
what's up?
I think he left. He said something about having to go cook supper or something, but it's another Kentucky atheist, and I'll have him on soon for everybody to meet. Yeah. But
tell him I'm in Grayson County.
Let's go.
Yeah. He makes AI generated videos talking about religion and stuff, and has a real thing he wants to. He's kind of a new atheist in a way. I mean, not really. Like, he's newly announcing he's an atheist, I guess, and still probably, I would say, in some stage of deconstruction, which I guess we all are, really. But he's got a channel, got about 25 subscribers over there. You guys should go over and subscribe to him. He's in the chat there.
Yeah, tell him I'm in Grayson County. I'm in Grayson County, so we're like real close to each other. In fact, both my whole, that family tree that I talked about that looks like a telephone pole, that tree grows in Hart County.
Yeah. Started growing straight up, doesn't it?
See, this is the thing. This is the thing that sucks. I live in Texas, but my area of Texas, not a ton of atheists right here. Like, you have to go all the way down to like fucking Austin.
But there's
or Houston most of the time.
Either, Leo. Like, we're like,
and like literally all of my friends are like on the other side of the country. I've got friends up in Michigan. I've got friends over in South Carolina. I got friends over on the West Coast. Nobody in my area.
I do have one friend here in like this area, but he doesn't come on like screen. He did watch my debate last night, he said, but like he doesn't do any kind of video stuff. He does podcasts, but like political podcasts and stuff. He's not on YouTube.
You know, the cool part about like the art protest thing was seeing that many atheists in one place in Kentucky, right? Like, I mean, there were people who weren't atheists and stuff there as well, you know, but like seeing people just show up, cars full of atheists, and be standing by the road with signs and stuff.
Gospel
That's
atheist.
not something that generally happens in Kentucky.
We almost had a short bus full of them. You know what?
the but it's super cool to it is that was one of the things I would set back and just kind of uh look at it and be like, wow, this is something, secular rarities over here with a sign by the road screaming at people, and we've got Seth and Will and everybody out, keeping an eye on stuff and getting people parked and all those things, and uh people like Godless Engineer and Dade Murphy and on stage telling us things, and it was just it was a sight to see in rural Kentucky.
It
And
really was.
yeah, I
I
mean,
wish I
it
could have
may
been
have
there.
just been like 100 or so people there, but how many times do you think 100 atheists are together in Kentucky outside of like the Free Thought Convention, Kentucky Free Thought? Doesn't
True.
really happen that often. So we even though it may not have been a huge turnout or whatever, we did something that doesn't happen often here. So I'm still happy with it no matter what.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Hey,
Yeah,
Dave.
What's up, Dade?
Hello.
I
he's
still don't know if he's.
he's
Oh,
almost with us.
yeah, he's still
Oh,
setting up, or he's muted.
yeah,
Hmm.
not yet.
You're muted or something.
Go to the gear and change your audio device in EV Mux. EV Mux is an asshole about that.
Yeah, I was on Ember stream this morning, and it was just not picking up my regular mic. So I have my mic, I have my backup mic, and then I also have one on my webcam as like a backup, but
Yeah,
it was not picking up my usual one. I'm like,
I
God
I
damn
just
it,
use
I
my
paid so
webcam.
much for this damn thing.
I just use my webcam mic. The but also, like, if my mic doesn't work, I have to reload the whole thing to get it to work. Like, it won't pick it up unless I just reload and come back in.
There's somebody here named B Squared 82 said from Missouri and now live in Florida. That's a new person, isn't it?
I don't know that name, but it's hard for me to keep up because, like, especially here recently, there's been a lot of new people show up with the
Simos.
political stuff. And
Yeah. Simos is here.
what's up, Samos?
Hello, Simos. Simos, I have a debate up like last night that I had with Steven on my channel.
Yeah, Let's Farm said he
Way to
welcome.
go, Let's Farm.
But I didn't pin the message in chat because I'm not actually in the um, YouTube chat. I'm looking at it from here.
I can
But
post
there it
it.
is again.
Oh,
But sorry, I could have muted for the coughing, I suppose. Whatever. Uh, but yeah. Anyway, it's interesting because it was a joke. I made the channel The Kentucky Atheist about a year before I ever put anything on it. And it was just like a joke. And then whenever like I'd had the heart surgery and all that crap, and then after that season, I was like, well, I'm not going to be able to work doing this crap anymore, and my car broke down, so I was stuck at home, and I was like, well, what are we going to do here? And I was like, I'll start making videos, and so I started making videos about televangelists, and then decided I wanted to debate people, then decided that was a stupid thing to do, and then kind of wrestled back and forth with that a couple times. But um, my thing with debates now is like I don't turn them down, but I don't really go looking for them either. Like if you want to argue with me about something, I'll do it, but um, to an extent.
I still want
Um,
to have one. I'm still looking for somebody to debate should Christians support ICE.
Oh Lord.
yeah. I mean, I think the foreigner parable in the Bible kind of answers that.
See, last night
Um,
was should Christians support the Second Amendment? And uh,
I mean, if you call yourself a Christian, right? The Jesus gives clear instructions about how to treat strangers and foreigners and
Poor people.
the poor people, the homeless. Like Jesus gives pretty clear instructions on those things. So if you as a theist are pro ICE, you're pretty well anti Jesus, right? Like
I
and
think,
I
no,
know I know the talking point on this and what it is. It's that just because you treat the foreigner well and love the foreigner doesn't mean that you let them come in and break the law and do all this other stuff. Which
nobody's actually. I know, yeah, but
that's
that's a really bad talking point when you're
oh
like
no, I agree. I don't think it's a good one.
when you're kidnapping people off the streets that are working and actually and throwing them in a prison camp or disappearing them by the not light of night. While nobody knows. Like I watched a video yesterday. There was a guy that lives close to where the ice facility is around. I think in Maryland or something. And so like he's been like a person who has kept up with like the many of the flights like under Biden and Obama and everything, and he said there was like every day there was a routine flight that took off from there that was deportation flights. And he said now like the flights are like these really weird times all night and day and stuff like that. And he said, when you go and look, there's no logs for any of these flights. Used to, you could go look at every flight that took off every day and see exactly how many passengers were on it and their names. And now there are no logs.
Yeah,
Like, you cannot go and find out, like, when he sees planes leave, and he cannot go anywhere and find a record of that plane taking off from that airport with who's on there, how many passengers are on there. So, like, he figures that there's probably been at least 2,000 people with of that have been on flights that have left that airport that there is no log for.
yeah.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, they've been pretty secretive about lots of things. I mean, they've built what 30 detainment camps around the country now.
Yeah, they're looking at building 23
Concentration
more.
camps, if you will.
By the way, I can say my professional opinion, yes, they absolutely are concentration camps.
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's what they are.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. It's and that's. I mean, I don't know what to say like to people who have supported Trump at this point. Like, um, because I can't get past the fact like, okay, you want to talk about ICE or you want to talk about guns or you want to talk about whatever, like how do you get past the fact that you support a panel of pedophiles running this country? Like that's where I'm stuck
Mhm.
at. I mean, the and I don't care like I'm for due process and all that stuff and like let the law do
Yeah.
its thing. But the the Epstein files are way before candidate Trump was ever a thing. Well, some of them lead up to where he was still in close contact with Jeffrey Epstein into his first term and lied about it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but
And
like,
still lying about it, by the way.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I just don't get how because that's a deal breaker for me. You know, like I mean, I don't know how there is half of this country. Well, it's not half of this country. Let me rephrase. I don't know how a large percentage of this country, and we're talking probably, I imagine somewhere around 20-25% of
Way
adult
too many.
um, support Trump, and I just don't understand how that's not a deal breaker for people. Like um, when you're part of a international human trafficking ring of children and with murder and torture and just hunting people possibly, and like all
Mhm.
that other stuff. I just don't understand how you're able to argue. That's the thing. Like, I don't think I could really argue with anybody about anything else right now, because you're gonna say, "Well, I support us," and I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, but what about the pedophiles?"
Well, yeah, yeah.
Um, and I know that's kind of a whataboutism thing, but it's a good one.
There's a few whataboutisms that are valid and need to be like just taking the bank every chance you get. This is one of them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like maybe I wouldn't want to like, have anybody that's like defending him right now around my kids.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
I
I
don't want
mean,
to be around
you're
anybody that's defending him. Period.
Well, I know,
yeah.
but I like those people probably don't need to be around kids.
No.
If you're okay with, and it's not even, I wouldn't be okay with it if it was one person. Like, even if it was just RFK, for example. Let's say it was just RFK and Trump appointed him head of DHS. I would still have the same issue with Trump and everybody else that's okay with that. Like, what are we doing? Like, if and the fact that this continues to go on shows that just nothing's gonna be done about it. Like, they're just gonna these. It's not just anything. They're not even close to even thinking about charging anybody. And maybe some attorney does in the future, but as of right now, it's just like, oh well, there they are, and
Well,
Trump's like, oh, it absolves me. I'm not in them, and
you do know
you
though
know,
that those other foreign countries are doing something, right?
yeah,
Oh
some of them are.
yes.
Yeah, that's going to be where what's going to like because that's going to be and plus the Senate is getting the files unredacted too. So like the senators are going to get to look at some of that stuff that's unredacted. They're not going like that stuff that we didn't get to see.
I bet they don't.
We're supposed to, yeah. I
That
mean,
they've said so. So this hinges on a comment made by how did I do that? This hinges on a comment made by Todd Blanche, where he said, they're welcome to come and look at those things, but and they said, yeah, we're going to go look at that stuff. But I imagine whenever it comes time for that, they're not going to actually let them see it. Um, there's no way, because that stuff isn't. It's not up to DOJ to decide what's redacted, so nothing would prevent them senators from just releasing that information immediately, and therefore they're not going to let them see it. These rich white men that are all over these files, we will never see all those names.
like
And
Lawrence Krauss and Noam
Dawkins,
Chomsky.
yeah. I mean, it's not limited to
But
white Christian
but
nationalists.
Trump won the Epstein files because he had 38,000 mentions, so he won the Epstein.
Right.
Like he won it. He got the
Get him
medal.
a medal. Somebody get him a medal.
Yeah, he got the gold medal for winning the Epstein files. Yes.
Say something, Dade.
Uh,
No.
Ah, damn it.
No. Uh, yeah, no. Trump gets first place, and whenever I showed the other day that clip of Jamie Raskin
Uh-huh.
calling them out for talking about stupid stuff, while all these pedophiles are at the head of government. Whenever I think that should be every congressional hearing from now on.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
Jamie's pretty good about that, actually.
oh yeah, yeah,
See, what
yeah,
I
for
missed
sure.
is they took down the C. They had the C-SPAN cameras up there when the Democrats
Hey
held the
man.
House. They had the C-SPAN cameras in the House, and as soon as Mike Johnson came in, he took those down. So you used to watch every hearing, like the whole time. Like you could watch all the hearings, and now you just kind of have to rely on those clips from journalists.
Yeah.
I used to get to watch a lot of that stuff. because you could just put it on and watch them. But as soon as the Republicans got back in charge of the House, they were like, "No, we don't want these cameras recording all the shit we're doing every day."
Thanks, Maya. All right, Dade. One more time. Oh, he's gone.
He's back.
He's back.
It's showing he's muted.
I can unmute him. Let me see.
See if. Try now, Dade.
It says he has no audio source. You need to go change your
Uh,
audio source.
Also, check your
Yeah.
browser permission. The browser may be blocking the permission. I've run into that before.
But I don't know, man. I just don't. I can't get past that. So there's not really, Joe Cool, whatever, in chat had wanted to talk to me about shootings and stuff, and I didn't really want to show that stuff anyway. And then with all this, I don't know that we really have anything to talk about.
Yeah, there's nothing to argue there. There's just fucking not.
Yeah.
And if there is, I'm sorry, but to me, that tells me straight up you are a shit person if you think there is something to argue.
Yeah, Rand Paul is like me and Joe, senator, and Rand Paul is anything but a liberal, or a progressive or anything. Like he is very backwards as far. But he came out and on 60 Minutes and said a lot. Actually, I actually sent him an email thanking him because, like he said, from his view, unless they produce some different footage that he did not see that Alex Purdy was resisting arrest. He said he was backing up when the officer was coming at him, so he was retreating. He was bending over to help a woman with his back turned when they attacked him, and Rand Paul was pretty serious about it. He said they better not come in that Senate hearing trying to say that this guy was being aggressive towards officers. He said because they absolutely cannot show that.
Yeah, but
And
they still do.
I didn't watch the hearing. Like I didn't know if they've had it or not. But like I know, but like at least Rand Paul is saying this is not true. You know what I mean? Like the rest of them are kind of like,
Right.
the rest of them are kind of like, well, that's not what we see on the video, but we don't have all the angles and crap like that. You know what I mean? Like,
Well,
how
they
many?
want this to end with fighting in the street. I mean, that's kind of the goal, right?
And then of course, Jean Pierre came out. What's her name? She came out and said something about taking guns in that district.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're poking the bear, so to speak.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
poking the Second Amendment people pretty bad too, because I've been watching.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me that Trump would even entertain anything about the Second Amendment because I feel like that's probably the fastest way to alienate a lot of his base. I mean, look at
here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter because the more people that are against Trump, if it's the Second Amendment people and they do something, it's still going to be the radical left that it all gets put on and a reason to escalate things. So he doesn't care who it is he pisses off or offends or whatever. It's kind of the point.
But that's his bully group that he's been counting on. Like those are the people that have been like those are the people that are in Tennessee in these little campgrounds training every weekend. You know what I mean? For when Trump decides that he needs them to come to save him. They're the ones that have been doing that. Like, I don't understand. Like, they're the Proud Boys and shit like that right there that are in on that. Like, or their cousins or something. You know what I mean? Like,
I would bet money there are Proud Boys and J6ers that work for ICE currently. 100%.
Oh yeah.
Well, we know.
Oh no, that's actually documented. Yeah, there are.
I mean, like, what's his name is working? The Proud Boys guy. What's his name?
Fucking Enrico
Ontario.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
No. Like, yes, they literally have
Holy
J6ers and like Proud Boys and
Enrique Tarrio
working for him.
Yeah, Enrique Tarrio is working. For
Yes.
him.
Holy shit! That's
Now-
insane.
Now,
This isn't new. This has been known for months and months. Yeah.
Get with the program, Seth.
Sorry, man.
The Republicans voted like there was a bill that went through Congress that Republicans voted for that would allow them to hire January Sixers as ICE agents.
Keep in mind, most of them got pardoned anyway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, the January 6ers, all of them got pardoned.
Yeah.
most of them
Except
did.
that
There
old
were,
woman.
there were a couple. There were like a couple dozen that did not take the pardons, and kudos to
Yeah.
them for not taking it.
Oh, well, that's different.
There was no woman. There was a woman. That woman that she refused the pardon, and
There
she
were
got
there were a few. Yeah, there were several that refused it.
yeah. And then there were some of them that were already had like all kinds of like child sex crimes and
Mm-hmm.
like serious things against them, and they were told like Trump was, they told Trump that they were like people they shouldn't let back out, and he said pardon them anyway. He didn't care.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But he's cleaning up our streets from all these dangerous um,
Yeah.
fruit pickers.
Yeah, the golden era.
Taco truck, the people on the taco truck and stuff, and letting the drug kingpins out of jail.
Yeah. Yeah, he doesn't, and this is kind of what I expected. I mean, once Trump was put into power, he doesn't actually give a shit. I mean, he's got a bunch of people around him trying to apologize for the things he's doing while he just continues to do them. They'll say one thing trying to cover for him and stuff, and then he'll just go and run it all and say something else anyway.
Would you
And
love to be his press secretary person,
yeah.
or like, oh my god, like he's gonna try to explain this stupid shit every day.
While Trump's hitting on her and talking about her lips all the time.
Ew.
Yeah. What's up, Dave?
Hello, Joe. How you doing?
All right, buddy. How you
Hello.
doing?
Well, I don't want to be a downer, but I've had better days.
Oh,
But
Well,
I wanted to make sure I came by and wished you all the best at 1,500. Holy cow.
thanks,
That's
buddy.
amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, you know my story, so fuck it for today, right?
Well,
Today's your day.
Well, I hate that you're not feeling well, buddy.
Well, I just, the side effects sucked. Just put it that way.
Yeah.
And everybody has heard about side effects, and they suck. And if anybody has
Right.
any doubt, if you have any friends or family and they say they've got side effects and they suck, take their word for it. It sucks.
Yeah.
So, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
I let Mike know that I might not host a show tomorrow. I'll let him know how I feel in the morning. It's day by day thing. So I just feel like crap today.
no,
Well.
dang.
I understand that, and I think the people that follow you and stuff, Dave, understand why you might have to do that and stuff. So I do hope you get to feeling better.
I've tried to be there every week, upbeat and everything. I think I've only missed like one time other than when I was in the hospital. So, let everybody know that I love them, and thanks for checking on me and sending me messages and all that kind of good stuff. And but nothing I can do about it, and we all know that. We put our hopes in science, and if science can't do it, then science can't do it. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But I wanted to be here because I saw your message the other day, and I was like, wow, man, Joe just blew up. So did Bree. Bree blew up too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's been a good year, so appreciate everybody supporting you, and everybody's supporting me too. I've had a bunch of subs too,
Yeah.
and it's been a good year for everybody all the way around. So good deals.
Yeah, we had a big push to get Dave up over 500 here recently. Dave, though, has been coming to my live streams since I've been live streaming, and today is probably like I've done shows with Robin and Lil where they're co-hosting, or Azzo is co-hosting, or whatever. But as far as like a guest on the show, Dave's been a guest on this more than anyone else. So
I always have
Dave.
fun with you, Joe.
Yeah.
You're a good friend. I mean that sincerely. I just don't come by to goof off or anything. You've been helpful and
fuck
full
you,
of
man.
advice, and that's right.
Dave was there for when I did the witchcraft too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Dave brought his tarot cards that night.
Oh yeah, I still get flack over having a Ouija board and everything.
Yeah, my wife hates that.
Stephanie wants to buy it from me so she can burn it.
Yeah, Stephanie said, "Get rid of that Ouija board, man. It just worries that she hates it."
Yeah.
But so everybody knows. I mean, my prognosis is good. It's just damn side effects suck.
Yeah.
I mean, it ruins your mood and your appetite and all that kind of stuff. And so, but anyway, enough about me. I will let everybody know what's going on.
We love you, Dave.
I appreciate it. Love you too.
Keep your head up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been getting good news, so I've got good doctors. It's not their problem. It's mine. So we will see.
Yeah.
Hang in there, buddy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hang in there.
But so how you feeling, Joe? Everything working out good for you?
I mean, I couldn't be happier today as far as like, where things are at with YouTube and everything. I mean, life is life or whatever, but this is it's crazy, Dave, because back whenever me and you and Azo and Ember were doing these streams, you guys were the only people coming on the live streams. Robin eventually started coming on. There's Jimmy Tux in chat. He was on a lot of them. I mean,
Tux.
We just came so far from there, all of us, and done so many different things since then. I've got to meet Dave in person, and many others. Seth, I've met you too.
Yeah, I met Seth and Robin and so many people at the protest and everything. And
yeah, it's just been a journey, right, man? And it's weird how things turn out because it's Dave's experienced the same thing. Dave's taken his lumps too. There's been moments where we have to learn hard lessons along the way, and there's been big moments that everything's going great, and times that they're not, but we just keep on going, and that's the best. That's the best words of advice I have for Dave or anyone else. Just
the little things you gotta let go. I've smoothed out a lot of the bumps in the road. Sure. I'm glad I did, and some little comment or something isn't worth a friendship or even getting along online, whatever you want to call it.
Well,
try to be adult about things, but some people don't want to be, so that's just the way it is.
Yeah, and for me, that's been the roughest part. Is I've had friendships end because of things people say and do and stuff here, and people that I wanted to be friends with. We go back and we talk about and I'm not going to get into the details or anything, but whenever the first time these things happen, and I got the whole thing with Azo and Earl and stuff, I didn't enjoy a moment of what had to happen there and stuff, and didn't want to do it, but it's what was necessary here at the time.
Did you hear about Tori too? Tori, she got good news from her eye doctor. Her eye's looking good, so.
Oh, good. Good.
Knock on wood, she got some good news. She had what was it, COVID or something in her eye or something.
Oh wow. Yeah, she's in chat.
Is she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she sent me a message, said she was looking good and feeling good or whatever, and the doctor said it looks good, and so that there's always good news.
Yeah.
For people that get bad news, there's always people get plenty of good news. So
sure.
Good deal.
there's always. I mean, I can personally attest to. I've been through times where I thought that nothing was ever going to get better or change. This is and completely accepted. This is what life's going to be like from now on. Whether it
Mhm.
be locked up somewhere or in the pits of a heroin addiction, or whether it just be having a rough time online. Just thinking like, but better days do usually come. That's the thing about uh, the worst
I might have
days is that
figured it
they
out.
can't help it. Oh, Dade's there. I
Hey,
There's
heard
Dade. I met
I might
Dade
have
at the
figured it out.
protest too.
Dave, you fucking here, man? What's up, Dave?
Hey, how you doing, man? Yeah, Dade was one of the first people I ran into. Other than, well, I think he was
Yeah,
the first person I ran into at the protest. I heard the voice and I said,
yeah, you
"That's
were.
Dade Murphy."
Yeah, it was a
Hey, man.
surprise, right? Like we didn't know you were
Yeah,
coming, did we?
I mean,
I,
I did.
Dave didn't know he was speaking.
no,
So, yeah, I
I
didn't. Yeah.
I turned around in the
For one of the
parking
first people
lot
I
and there
met
he
was
was.
Steph.
Yeah,
Like when I got to at least to the protest site, it was Seth. I think Seth was like one of the first people I shook hands with and
Yep,
shit.
sure was.
Hmm.
Didn't even get a mug out of it either, man.
My
Oh
bad, bro.
man.
I'll have more
Oh
next time.
man.
I'm just messing with you, Dave.
Speaking of which, there will be a next time, right? Like,
They're having the protest this year. I'm not doing it, but I may be there. But I'm not putting it on and stuff this year. They're doing that. I
okay.
I got a message from uh, Chrissy Helton yesterday asking me if I wanted to step up and take a. I mean, I think what she's offering me is a board position for Tri-State Freethinkers. She said she's
Oh,
stepping away and stuff, and asked if I wanted to step up and kind of, they were looking for somebody like me that's wanted to get shit done to kind of step in and do that role or whatever. Me and
hell
me
yeah,
and
man.
um, uh, me and her husband had talked about this before, and I don't, I don't know. I'm all the way over here in Kentucky and stuff, but I mean, I don't know. There's things we got to talk about and stuff, but
It's okay. We won't hold the Kentucky
Right.
thing against you.
uh, well, I mean, I fully embrace it. I don't,
Is there anything we can do about it?
no, the and to be real about it, like Kentucky is kind of changing in that respect. Like there's a growing thing going on in Kentucky. Um, you're seeing a lot more atheists out of Kentucky as content creators, and these groups are growing, and the conventions in Kentucky are growing, and it's just it's good to see people in the Bible Belt getting their head out of their ass. So
That is nice.
There's
yeah.
still plenty of them in there.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we're still way outnumbered. Don't get me wrong.
You know what I'm saying?
uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's still people all over the place when I go on their channel with the name the Kentucky Atheists. They're like, "Yeah, because you're the only atheist in Kentucky," and I
Yeah.
have to tell them like, "Yeah, that's kind of a joke. I've actually met dozens and dozens of atheists from my area and stuff."
So there's
Lots of
Robin.
people,
There's always Robin.
yeah, the
Who
We did
dog
think
is
we were
that?
the only two there for a minute, though. We did really did.
somebody putting in their 2 cents in the background. That's what it is.
yeah.
All right.
Hey, Joe, I'm gonna go. Congratulations. I gotta get me some.
No, you're not.
Yeah, it's my dog Kip. She's barking like mad.
I gotta get something to eat.
All right, Robin. Thank you for coming
Take it
by, and
easy,
thank
Robin.
you for the kind
Love
words.
y'all.
All right. Good seeing you, Robin.
Take it easy, Robin.
But yeah, I invited a couple people that couldn't make it today that have been kind of instrumental in this channel getting to where it's at. Maya's working and couldn't be here, and Will is out of town skiing and couldn't make it. So, but there's been a lot of people and stuff along the way that, and I couldn't ever thank everybody. I would miss people, so I'm not going to try and rattle off a list of people or anything. But it's very much been all you guys that support the community and everything that got us here. It's I just show up and talk out my ass. That's how this is done.
I was gonna ask you, like, what would you attribute your rise in viewership to? Like, would you say it's like just people generally being interested in atheism, or your specific opinions with regards to whatever Kent Hovind puts out there? Or, like what would you attribute it to? Like, what do you think got
I
you
think a big part of it is number one, people in this community, like when somebody new comes and wants to make content and stuff, we tend to support those new people. And I mean, we see people like Kelly and just so many
Me.
others. Yeah, Seth here,
Literally.
Will, that come in and so there tends to be a lot of that. But I think people are curious because of the Kentucky atheist thing. Like they're like, oh, this, Will, who has been is not a content creator or even involved that much on YouTube, has uh, been amazing in supporting in so many different ways. Worked his ass off at the art protest and stuff. Um, just and it's just because the perspective and where I come from and stuff. I think a lot of people heard my story and things along the way, and they know that like I'm a genuine, honest person, and so if I come on here and say it, I generally mean it. So it's a number of things, man. I don't think there's any one thing. We got some big pops along the way. Like I had an early video that got several thousand views that started things off, and then Matt Dillahunty came on, and I've got a lot of subs off of that. And there's been a number of things along the way, but I think a lot of the people that have stayed and that are like here for every show and all that stuff are they've been here and been through all those things with me, all the bumps in the road along the way, and know how I'm going to handle those things, and so they continue to support the channel. And I remember whenever you first came along, Dade, and everybody's like, how'd you get Dade Murphy to watch your channel? And I was like, I don't even know who that is.
That's because I said hi to Dade, and Dade's like, "Hey, Dave, how you doing?" That's all it took. Cool motherfucker.
I went and looked Dade up, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is for a period of time. Dade was the channel with the largest number of subscribers that was a subscriber to my channel, and it's still I think you're still number 2 or 3. You're up there."
Well, the best videos I had was with Stephanie, and we don't agree on much, but we had a great video together. So you never know what's going to take off.
Yeah. Well, my most viewed live stream, aside from the Matt Dillahunty one, is a call-in show that Stephanie and I did that got a couple thousand views. But
she's cool. I mean, for being a theist and being a little out there, or whatever you want to say about her, whatever your opinion is of her, I'd rather have a lot more of her than some of the other ones.
She was kind of mad at me over the Jay Bundy thing, I think, but
yeah,
I'm sorry. Like my position, I think I was clear. I ain't gonna get into all that, but what's up?
You gotta let little things go, So
yeah,
I got another question.
I don't think that was
go
thing,
for it.
but
So, like, with respect to your channel, what and your atheism, or should I say your skepticism, which would inform your atheism.
Absolutely.
But with respect to your channel, would you say that you approach, I'd say, theistic claims from a theological perspective or from just a purely academic perspective? Both? Or like what is your like how do you attack this? How do you attack the
Huh.
claims of Christianity? Like,
So one of the things that I've always said about like the way that because a big thing for me has been encouraging other people to if they have the urge to use their voice to speak out against these things and create channels. If that's what they feel like they need to do, they should absolutely do it.
fucking A
And
shit.
so I've always pointed out that these things are absurd on their face, and then support that with academia. I think that I think that there's a recipe for me anyway to where it's like part ridicule and part supporting that with facts and things, right? Like
Right.
I take advantage of the fact too that they underestimate me a lot. Like um, I knew whenever I went and talked to Ken Hovind, I knew that
Mm.
he was going to think I was just some dumb redneck and he didn't know who I was or anything like that. And I
I mean,
sometimes rely on that to do some of the work for me.
I
You
feel
think
that,
I'm
man.
dumb? Okay, well let's embrace that. Like I'll be your dummy for a minute until you say something dumb. And so, but yeah, I mean, I think it's a mix of ridicule and facts. Like you want to tell me, like one of the common things I say, and it's because this is a perfect example is
Hmm.
um you every argument that especially creationists and things make or apologists boils down to one of a couple things, and it's usually morality, right? And
Yeah.
your God's list of rules, his most important rules that you hold on a pedestal, say don't kill people, don't steal, don't do these things. And 2 pages later, he tells them to go do all those things. So how am I to take this motherfucker serious? Like,
Right.
never mind all the other things. And like, I think the problem of deception is probably the biggest thing that I like. I really embrace as far as like if I'm gonna allow for a God to exist, that's the route I'm gonna take with it. But I just think it's absurd, and so let's show the absurdity with facts. So it's kind of a happy median with those two.
Do you do a lot of like exegetical analysis in your free time
Mm,
at all?
not
Just
these
out of
days.
curiosity, just
No. Yeah, it's a fair question.
mm,
Not as much these days. I mean, like, sure, there's like whenever I hear something new,
yeah.
I go and look that thing up and kind of look into it on the surface, and then if it's something that interests me, I dig a little deeper into it. But not as much as I did before I ever started making content. Like, there was a period of time for a few years where I was, looking at the various interpretations of the Bible, and then what the what different scholars had to say, what facts said about those things, like what science had to say about those
Mm,
things, and so there was a lot of that. And I mean, I think that the skills of that I learned along the way of doing that now allows me to do that very quickly if I need to on the spot. But
yeah.
very rarely do they say anything new. So I don't, I rarely
I
even.
feel like I've been taking more of the approach where like because I'm fine taking the the hard atheist position, only with respect to the Christian God. You know what I mean? Like I will say that God does not exist, and I will bring forth all the evidence as long as the characteristics of that God are as they say, being that it is omni X, Y, and Z. So that being the case, I just use the scripture, but more specifically, I like to use examples as evidence to the claim that Jesus wasn't the Messiah. So I've just been doing is just I'll just take claims like that and then just build the arsenal for that claim. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so one of them is just what are some of the biggest claims that Christians make with respect to Jesus being the Messiah? And so then I just have to know what verses that that they'll allude to and then say that, oh, that means XYZ. That means this, therefore Jesus. And so I've just been doing that. I've been taking each claim, and my newest one is just he didn't fulfill any of the prophecies, and then just
Yeah.
going to find those prophecies and then showing the context in which that prophecy was made, and then how that doesn't at all apply to Jesus. And that's just really been fun in the meantime, just like doing all of the different reading and cross-referencing and just to
So
drive the knife in further when I
yeah.
attack these Christians.
So here's where you'll get an example of where I've studied some stuff, Dave. So I think that historians and scholars and everybody who has really been critical of the Jesus claim,
Yeah,
I think that uh, you see in the Bible where they misinterpreted those prophecies and then went on to say that Jesus fulfilled those. And there's actually mistakes made um, from along the way, and things like that I've
yeah,
supported with the various positions and stuff. But also, I think modern Christianity will take the word of Paul over the words of Jesus every day of the week
Oh yeah.
because
oh,
Paul says
100%.
things that
Yeah,
the
it's a religion of
yeah
Paul. Like,
yeah
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, it's
So
Pollyanity is what I
Christianity
call
should
it.
have died on the day of the crucifixion.
It's
yeah
it's really it's Pollyanity, and a lot of that is found in Christian nationalist circles. They go on Paul's words a lot.
yeah
They don't know
those
what
things
Jesus actually said. They really don't.
Yeah,
yeah
Hmm.
It's
yeah
more
and
it's more
all they
Paul
got is
than
love your
Jesus.
neighbor. That's all they got.
yeah
Yeah.
I'm
And they don't
sorry,
even
Dave. Go
follow
ahead.
that.
I was just saying it's mostly Paul, it's not Jesus.
right. It'll be
Yeah,
Paul saying that Jesus said things, but Paul wasn't there.
N-
Um,
Right.
never met Jesus.
yeah, Paul was not
yeah.
around for that.
Deviant. Diva.
Yeah,
Hi.
sorry, we never did let
Deviant.
you say hi. What's up,
Hi.
Deviant?
I
The,
Um,
had to jump in and say congratulations, Joe. You're awesome. I'm so happy uh, for you and your channel. And if you ever give this up, I'm probably swimming over there and killing you. So there's that.
yeah,
Love it.
it's neat having people on the other side of the world that support the things I do. Me and Mark Reed the other night had an amazing conversation.
Oh, I love that conversation. It was really good one. But I
Yeah.
mean, no wonder.
Good.
I had multiple people message me and say that was the best, one of your best shows that I've ever watched. Was me and Mark
Hmm.
Reed talking, and you know and that's why I was so. That's why there was like I did it at this special time and everything to be able to talk to Mark Reed because Mark and I knew would have an awesome conversation. Um, you know, I don't. Here's the thing. So the apologist is going to come in and they're going to give their interpretation of things the way they see it. And on YouTube, we find a lot of what I call Hoven dots, and they're going to just repeat the same shit that Hoven says. And fair enough, whatever. Like, but I kind of operate on the I don't know if you would call this an axiom or what, but like if the Bible is up for interpretation, why is your interpretation any better than mine? Who decides and how do they decide? What methodology do they use to reach that conclusion? And so I kind of hinge everything on that. Like, why does what you say? Why is what you say any different than what the 7 Day Adventists say, or
Hmm.
the Catholic Church, or even the fucking Mormons? Like what is why is that any more important than my take on it, which is that it's bullshit. Uh,
Hmm.
so
But the issue I find there is that they don't even really understand that question and what it
no, they don't.
entails. The only answer you're going to get, if any at all, is that they are wrong.
Yeah,
And if you ask, yeah, but how do you know that you are reading it right? Well, it's in the text. I've seriously had a discussion with a guy who claimed that his way of reading the Bible was the correct one because there were no interpretation.
sure. Yeah, that's
That's
there's
like,
not
you
such a thing
can't
as
read
reading
a
something with no
fucking word
interpretation.
unless you can also interpret what it
Yeah,
means.
yeah. You
That
can't
is
read something
reading.
without interpreting it. That's
Exactly.
um. So like, and that's one of the things I learned along the way, that it doesn't matter when somebody's demonstrably wrong. I learned that early on, though. Whenever I first found all this stuff about evolution out, and and then started like teaching myself physics and all that stuff. Like, I learned early on because I was excited about it. I was like, man, I'm gonna go tell my Christian friends this shit's bullshit, and all the stuff they've been thinking was true, they were lied to, and I got to tell people this. And I go tell them, and they weren't happy to hear it. And so it's there was some learning along the way of what's demonstrably true isn't what's important to everyone. And so it's to what you said, though, about they're not able to see it from that perspective. I agree 100%, and that's the biggest issue. And that's really where you try to get through to somebody at is what perspective or what set of arguments or what particular take on these arguments is the thing that's going to get any one person to listen to what you're saying and at least be curious enough to check it themselves, because nobody ever learns by listening to someone else. um,
No.
not on major things anyway. You can learn things from other people, don't get me wrong. That's how we all got to where we're at. But they learn by being humiliated and being they have to have, and I don't mean that in like an aggressive way. I mean like humility in general. They have to experience humility in order to have any chance at learning better ideas to replace the bad ones they already hold. And so,
Yeah, but how do you do that with people who are convinced that they are the direct result of the most perfect, most high God, and they have a special relationship with this person, so much so that they are the only ones of all humans who's ever lived who's gotten his fucking book
you guys
100%
come on and
right?
ask more questions than they do. Jeez. So here's the thing. Um, Whenever I point out that every Christian defines God their own way, they define God into existence, and then they give that God the same attributes that their moral framework holds.
Hmm.
That's not just a. That's not just an assertion. I mean, it is an assertion, but that's not. It's not. That's the most important part of this, because the reason that you can't just reach everybody with one way is because of that.
Of
That's the
course.
thing that stands in your way, because no two people have the same view of what God is or does, and they it's funny that God always holds the same values they do, and so there's if there was one way that you could reach even a large group of people at the same time, we wouldn't be where we're at now, right? Um, we wouldn't have Christian nationalist pedophiles running the government. We wouldn't have the Catholic Church touching little boys. Uh, this, these things wouldn't have happened because people would be able to realize the error of their ways. But there's no one way to do it. So that's why it's so important that everybody who wants to speak up and talk about these things does, and they do it in their own way, because you don't know which one of those ways is going to be what gets through to somebody. What's
But
up,
then see,
Thamos?
also, there's like this issue. Like, I guess we're operating from this assumption that they are operating from a basis in which they only accept evidence in order
Yeah,
to persuade them towards one position or another. Whereas, but that's not their grounding. That's not their system of reality, as it were. Like, they operate from a basis of feelings. So if it doesn't feel right, if it doesn't feel good, then therefore it isn't right. And that's all it really comes down to. Like, they don't really care about evidence. I mean, it's the same thing you have, like you always allude to, like Christian nationalism. You always tie it into politics because it's the same thing that's happening there. It's like our opponents, if you will, aren't really, as I said in the speech that I gave at the protest, they're not tethered to evidence. So
So you're
it's
assuming they're
really
going to
just
be
how they
rational.
feel. Right. We're assuming that they're rational. We're assuming that they're operating from a basis of logic, and that's just not where they're at. Like, it's just all about
no,
how do they feel. And so if you can't make them
yeah.
feel better, and that's not where we're coming from, like, we don't really care about your feelings. We just want to know what the truth is, and they don't seem to be really concerned with that.
Well,
Well,
they've got
okay,
a
part of that
lifetime.
too.
Come on now. Don't let your woke facts get in the way of my very valid my very invalid feeling.
Right. What is
You
the
said
most
your
powerful
woke
feeling?
facts.
Yes.
Evidence
What is the
is
most
woke.
powerful feeling that drives people?
The most who?
What is the most powerful feeling that drives people, though?
Fear,
Fear.
Yes, yes. So
for sure.
it's rooted in. That's why they can't see it. There's. I can't listen to you. I'm going to burn in hell forever if I listen to your heathen ways. Like um,
Right.
it,
Yeah, it's a
Christianity or
lifetime of
any religion is
indoctrination.
Hmm. That's what I
right.
come
Well,
to the
this is
conclusion.
where it's a
We're working with people who doesn't have a proper education and who's been indoctrinated since birth. They're
Yeah.
living in this tiny bubble where their thinking abilities have been completely stumped at
Yeah.
around 10.
Mhm.
Oftentimes before they understand irony, because you often come across people who doesn't understand irony.
yeah.
One of
That
my
was me,
favorite
Deviant.
things, irony. Uh, yeah, look, I came in because there's a couple of things that on this particular topic I'd like to say. Obviously, I've been around the community
Go for
now
it.
for like I don't know, well over 10 years. Um, and I guess over that time, a lot of things have changed. At the beginning, it was more of I guess, trying to just have it out with people individually, but then it became more of a performative thing, certainly with debating.
Right.
And I guess we justified it by saying, look, we're really talking to the audience. there might be some people in the audience that are going to be convinced by some of the arguments put forward, and we never really expected the person opposite us or the person we're debating to be convinced by it. And that's obviously, where you guys are talking from, right? You're talking about trying to convince the person you're debating. But we gave up on that. Like, I don't know, eight
Mhm.
years ago or something. I don't know. We never thought we were going to convince the person we're debating, because the cognitive bias is so strong with these people. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, for the reasons that you're saying, they're indoctrinated. But I still, I really try hard not to go in with a cynical view that they know that that's the case, right? So when they
Oh,
accuse
right.
me of being, a fool in my heart because I deny the existence of God, I try not to think that they actually mean that, right? Literally, but they're just repeating some scripture which they've been given, and that's their block on their cognitive bias. That means they can't see that that's the case, right? So
Mhm.
I try to be as generous as possible in that respect, and I think that works out better because I'm trying to talk to their audience, not them, right? So
Right.
I just wanted to say that, and I think right now it's more important than ever, certainly with the state of American politics, and that connection with national Christian nationalism. It's more important now than ever not to be antagonistic and to try and wean away some of the more moderates from the alt right and the straight up authoritarian dogma, which is why I'm an anti-theist personally. I mean, I'm more than just an atheist. I'm an anti-theist because I think that the dogma is what is harmful. It's the dogma that allows them to hold on to these cognitive bias, which means that when you're
Yeah.
talking to them, they think they are using their logic perfectly. That's why we don't get through, because they don't even see the logic that we're using. If anything, they see it as irrational, some of the arguments we put forward. And you only need to go to people that are smart, like Capturing Christianity, to hear him say, well, you're an atheist. You believe that the universe popped into existence out of nothing. Right? And I have no idea how many times I've heard that, like said
Oh,
against me.
man.
And I'm like, well, that's
Once a
not
week
Probably
at
actually
got
least.
what I think,
it's just
obviously.
straw man arguments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. So, like, but he thinks he's a smart guy. He knows he's heard the alternatives. He's heard people defend it, but he still comes back with that.
Mhm.
Like it's a doctrine, like it's a mantra, and that's why I'm saying, look, we're not going to convince those people, but some people might be thinking, oh, hang on a minute. Maybe it is just dogma. Maybe that's the reason why I
Yeah.
can't quite get my head around this, or I do feel uneasy when I put my head down at night. Anyway, that's all I really wanted to say.
Well, you're exactly right, Simos. Whenever I say getting people to think about something differently, I'm not talking about necessarily the person I'm talking to, but whoever has those ideas that is willing to listen, or whoever you can stoke that bit of curiosity in to get them to take the next step to check for themselves.
Mm. Yeah, it's an uphill battle, all right, though. Also, the other thing I
Yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to say is, at this time, I feel it's really important as well for the atheist community in general. If that is, even if that's a phrase which can be used, I like
Sure.
I like to use great debate community rather than atheist community.
Yeah.
Um, but if that's possible, it's more important now than ever to be reasonable and show that we're not authoritarian and we're not um, dogmatically driven to the point where we're militant. Um,
yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't mean we shouldn't use, we can't use ridicule or anything like that. Sure, if that's the appropriate response, ridicule, then go for it. And I'm fairly tasty with doing that myself. But um,
yeah,
I do think that I do think just being outrageously, like, I try, whenever I'm using ridicule, I really try hard to expose the flaws in the logic, which makes me use the ridicule. So I tend to try and
yeah.
use an ad absurdum argument against them rather than just straight out ridicule.
Mm.
Right.
Anyway,
That's an
that,
excellent
that
Well, I
approach.
mean, I think
that's all I want to say.
let me read Justin's super chat here real quick, and I'll respond briefly to that. Justin Yahooligan from over there at This Just In. You don't deserve 1,500 subscribers. Sorry, I'm just jealous. $5 super chat. Thank you, Justin. Uh, you can say things like that as long as you attach $5 to it. So I'm joking.
Justin is one of my favorite emotional support Canadians, and I just want him to know that.
Jess is my emotional support Canadian.
Yeah.
So,
Good to
but
see you,
but I've
Simons.
known Justin longer.
She
Hey, Joe,
doesn't
I think Kip
make
said
her
bye.
presence known well
Oh,
enough
good
for
God,
me
Kip.
to see her too much, so she needs to fix that. Al does
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
See,
But now, go
I'm
ahead.
sorry. No,
No,
I
you
was
go
I
ahead.
was probably getting on to another because I was thinking like I know our goal, or at least one of them, is to try to get people to think more critically, to be more skeptical, to not just accept claims on their face or to appeal to authority or to tradition or any of this nonsense, so that you can apply that same skill to other areas of your life. Mostly, mainly, specifically politics. So if you can apply that same skepticism, that same reasoning to politics, then perhaps you can see where we're coming from because I'm having a hard position because I don't know how to offer. I can tell you what the alternative could be or should be, but I don't know how to articulate what exactly that'll look like. You know what I mean? Like, so from my position, I could tell you your God doesn't exist. Like, even if I could convince you of that, but then it's like, and all of that comes with that, you have to now jettison. But I don't have anything to replace that with except to just tell you, yeah, nothing really matters at the end of the day. But at the same time, on the political side, I'm just, I don't know how to because I've aligned myself with America's largest boogeyman as far as politics is concerned because I'm a communist and I advocate for communism. But I don't know how to tell you what that would look like, a communist society in a post-capitalist system hinging on fucking authoritarian fascism. I don't know what it would look like in that society, but I know the principles for which it stands are superior to the capitalist principles. That's all I can tell you. So, however it looks, it will look something like that, with those being its principles, its starting line. And but I don't. But as far as the atheist side, I don't really know what to. I can tell you to maybe find more. I don't know, purpose or pleasure or in like the sciences, because well, I mean, I do, or just in art or in something else, to give your life meaning. But you need to reconcile yourself to the facts, and the facts are your God doesn't exist. We're on our own. It's going to take us to change anything or to fix anything. Same thing with capital within our political system. Capitalism's not going to fix your problems at all, no matter how kind we make it. So you're going to have to implement a system, or at least advocate for implementing a system that uh, has the people at its foundation and not profit. And but even convincing people of that is difficult. Seeing how far gone we are, the propaganda, the indoctrination, the fear, it is deep, and I don't know how you combat that because again, they're not tethered to evidence. It's all emotions, and that's just how we get back to this. Back to where we started. Like I don't know how, if you're not going to be persuaded by evidence, then what do I say to you? You know what I mean? Because I don't have anything flowery to offer you.
I mean, I
You
think the epistemology is the same, is what you're pointing to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the same toolkit that you use as a skeptic to address problems with the apologist, unfortunately, has the the Venn diagram has gotten very very close to where we're in one circle now, to where it
know.
applies to the political planes as well, and
Right.
um, you know it's not always about offering someone an alternative, although you can make an argument for why this alternative may be better. Um, you got to start with getting them to question the bad ideas that they're holding to begin with. And
Right.
as we all talked about, like that's the tricky part. But back to the epistemology thing, I think just like all of them define God into existence in their different ways, we
Hmm.
all have varying degrees of what we use in our epistemology tool set to approach those things. And some are better than others. It just depends on who you're talking to. There's no
That's
blueprint for how
true.
to do any of it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so some people are more effective more often. Some people aren't. But the goal is kind of the same, at least for most. It's replacing bad ideas with good ones, or at least getting them to question those bad ideas. Um, I take it as a win if I can get, whether it's somebody I'm talking to or the audience or anyone who holds those same set of beliefs, if I can get them to just say, I'll look into it. I'll read that paper you sent me, like,
Yeah.
that's a win for me. Whereas with others, it may be, I'm going to convince the whole world that Christianity's false. Like, that's,
Seth, what do you think about that?
It's a lot, man. It's
Nah, it ain't.
it is. It is. I will say this: when we're talking about getting people to open up to new ideas, I went through an angry atheist stage, and I
Hmm.
isolated a lot of people. I was harsh with my kids, and I was in a bad place, and that is not the right approach to get anything done. And I share that because I've learned from that. We've all moved forward. We're in a much better place now. But in hindsight, my information was right. The conversations me and my ex-wife had about Christianity and the arguments that I was presenting at the time were the same ones I would present today. But the approach I had then and the way I came at her then versus how I would, approach somebody now, that makes a lot of difference when it comes to people actually opening up. So yes, ridicule has a place and mockery does have a place, but we got to be careful not to aim that at the person because the person has been indoctrinated for however many years or decades or since birth. So just something to keep in
Right.
perspective while we're considering all these very complicated topics. There's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts.
I
Yeah,
think Joe
I
nailed it
also
when he
think
said we have to take them for like each person. You know what I mean? Because like, there's not one thing that'll work for every single Christian you're talking to. You just have to,
Right,
yeah,
whatever will work for that one. You know.
right, right.
Sorry, but you were
I
saying.
I also think that it's wrong, or not it's wrong, but you won't reach your goal if you go into it with the mindset that you're going to take them from their position to yours.
Right,
The only thing you can do
Right.
is try to pry open their the most hard held, locked up positions that they have, because it's going to be on them to find. If you, as you said, Dade, you're a communist, how do you convince a Christian nationalist fucking fascist to of your positions? They're not even, when they learn you're a communist, they are not going to listen at all to
Right.
what you have to say. They're definitely not going to go away and be like, yeah, I shouldn't look up communism, that might be my next step. People go like
Right.
one step at a time. So sure,
right,
if you have someone who already is kind of on their way, then maybe present it. But the main point is kind of our uppgift, inte goal, uppgift, task. Our
Mhm.
task has to be just to open up that stunted mindset, because the truth is that even though many of these people seem kind of stupid, actually, they're not really, it's not a lack of ability to understand. It's not that they don't have
Not
the
true.
capacity. They're stunted.
Hmm.
Right.
So I think that's important. I'm sorry if I'm rambling. And
No,
shoot
No,
it.
You're
I
good.
like the idea of like trying to. It's like Christians say, plant a mustard seed. That's all I'm trying to just plant
Exactly.
the seed and let that grow. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to like plant the tree. Just plant the seed. Get you thinking. Get that. Crack that ceiling open, or whatever it is, whatever the metaphor. But yeah, like you understand, they have these deep seated beliefs that are fortified emotionally, I believe, because it's
Yeah,
not by logic, but
and
and
they
then
have
just
That's why I
been
trying to
believe
there
in
penetrate
astrology.
that,
since
you know.
since they were born.
Right.
It's a lot
Yeah.
to pick apart, and I think if if it's a single person, it has to be someone that you can have multiple conversations with, the back and forth under a period of time, which is why when we do it over the internet, that's not going to, you're
Mhm.
not going to see that big change. But I try to think that when this person is ready for it, that seed that I planted is still there, and it might spark something. Maybe not now or tomorrow, or in even 5 years. Maybe take 15 years, but at least it's there.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if I give it to them in a way that I'm not calling them names or just pushing them down, they are more likely to remember it with fondness rather than with fear or a feeling of threat.
Oh yeah, I get what you're
Yeah.
saying.
There's a couple of
I,
exceptions, I think, which really need to be taken into account here,
Of
and that
course.
is the fundamentalists, I guess I would call them. And for those, I don't have any problem in using ridicule against them. When I say that, the ones that are clearly, like, I don't know, creationists, or young earthers, or flat earthers, or just things which are so ridiculous and so antithetical to science that if you hold those
Yeah.
beliefs, you are never going to get anywhere. If you think that the only way you can get to truth is through a deductive argument, right, then you're
right.
beyond the pale as far as I'm concerned. That we're not getting anywhere, right? You have to accept that there is a common ground in order to be able to debate. And secondly, you have to
Right.
be able to accept that induction is the only way to scientific or empirical knowledge, right? And
Yeah.
I don't know what to say if you don't hold those beliefs, right? Because
Yeah.
even a baby uses induction, right? That's how we as
Right.
humans operate, right? From our
Yeah.
very first moments. And the corruption comes when
Mm.
somebody, and usually an authority figure, gives you a logical argument, right? Which is, normally got some kind of fallacy involved in it, right? And it takes a long time to work through that process of understanding what fallacies are and why they're so bad, right?
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah.
just think that that's a really important thing, that when somebody won't accept evidence, right, with a deductive argument, or an inductive argument that inherently has a deductive conclusion, then I feel it's really tricky to try and get through to them. And then the other thing I just wanted to say quickly is, I think that ridicule is a good idea. Jesus is Lord is one person that I'm quite happy to use ridicule through, because the number of times I've corrected him on arguments that he's later come back and said the same thing, or when I've
Mhm.
confronted him and said, "Well, you've used that arguments before. Remember, you said this, which was just dumb, incorrect. It's just incorrect. I mean, on its face,
Right.
even a deductive argument like that is just wrong.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
and
not dumb. Just what you
he's just
said was dumb.
well, I know he's not dumb, but the point is he
Right.
refuses to correct himself, and then when I point that out,
Mm.
he says that I'm lying. Right, so he
Yeah.
literally rewrites history in order to try and like make himself aggrandize himself, right? So a typical
Right.
narcissist, and I'm not saying I'm not a narcissist. I think everybody in this community is a narcissist, right? We're all on camera,
Wow.
especially those
Maybe a
on camera,
wee smidge.
especially those on camera, Seth. Um, you know, maybe some a lot more than others, and I feel if you think you've got an authority figure that knows everything, that you can refer to anytime you choose to get out of trouble, then that makes you even more of a narcissist. But uh, and then yeah, the other thing I wanted to say quickly, that's one point I'd like to make about
Mm,
fundamentalists, and the fact that we're not talking to them and ridicule with them is, I think, perfectly acceptable. But the other point is about being an atheist community in inverted commas, right? I think it's really important that we stand up when we're in these debates and say, look, atheism is not a worldview, and my worldview is, right, for me, it's humanism, right? But it can be a number of things, right? And I think it's important as atheists that we do start identifying our worldviews. And so they can take pot shots at those as well. And then the more we defend our actual worldviews, then I think the better off we are in these debates, because that's where the moderates go, yeah, I quite agree that we should treat humans well.
Right.
you know
Yeah.
that's a good thing to
right.
do, I think. And this guy, okay, he's wrong about God, but at least he's taken the morals of the New Testament and or Jesus or wherever they think, that's fine. So I think that's a really important thing to do, is to try to defend not atheism as such, but our actual worldviews.
Are you a
Yeah.
methodological naturalist?
No, I'm just a naturalist. I don't really make that distinction. I'm a full-on atheist, so I think God doesn't exist. And I've got, I don't think you
Interesting.
can, mainly because I think that there's empirical evidence against it, right? You can use Hume's razor or something like that, or if you want to go
Right.
against deism, you can use Occam's razor, or I don't think there's any deductive arguments that could prove God. I mean, so all we've got is induction, and induction strongly suggests that there is no God, or there's no supernatural, let alone an agent that could be supernatural. So
You know what? I
Yeah.
heard Durante one time said that in a call on the line. He said that if we were to somehow detect something that would be considered supernatural, the fact that we were able to detect it now makes it natural. Like it's now part of the natural world, even if we
that's
don't
right.
have the language or philosophy to explain it or whatever, but it's still now part of the natural world. So by that reasoning, there's no such thing as the supernatural. Like
Yeah, well,
it's not possible under that.
I
You
mean,
know.
there's another point that I used to make a long time ago, although I've kind of dropped it in some degrees because I don't find it very useful in debate, which is to say that when they say, oh, yeah, like William Lane Craig says, well, it's spaceless and timeless and thisless and thatless, and they define God by the negatives, okay? I just go, well, hang on,
Right.
either he did do miracles in the world, right? So, like, if he
Exactly.
did any kind of miracles, then he interacts with the world. And if he interacts with the world, then there is an empirical sense that we could detect the supernatural. Now,
Yeah.
just because we
Right.
haven't, that fair enough. Okay, we haven't. And I think that that's using Hume's razor, that's good enough to say, look, we can't expect miracles to happen, and there's no evidence that they should happen. It's more likely that these people are deluded than the miracle actually happened, right? But at the same
Yeah.
time,
Right.
if you're saying your God does interact with the world in any way, then you can't just try and rely on the argument, the cosmological or the ontological or the whatever, any of the deductive arguments. You should have an empirical argument again for God's existence, and the fact you can't give
Yeah.
me one is is damning evidence.
Mhm.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Hey,
It,
hey, Joe. I'm gonna go. My eyes are getting heavy. I'm gonna
man.
try and catch a nap. It's
Take it
good to
easy,
see
Dave.
y'all.
Good to see you,
Take
Dave.
care, Dave.
Thanks for
Yeah,
stopping by,
Good to
you
Dave.
have a
hear
good
from you.
evening or whatever it might be where you're at, and
Lots of love, Dave. Stay
lots of
strong.
love to you
Yeah,
still.
thanks for coming.
Stay strong.
Yeah, I know Simos is dealing with his own issues, and
Uh,
so be strong yourself, and
thank you, mate.
take care, everybody.
You
Stay
too, Dave.
You too, brother.
All right, good night.
Feel better, Dave.
I will. Congratulations, Joe.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, there's a few little things which I try to stick to. I mean, I like to do debates, but I'm the same as you, Joe. I don't go looking for them anymore.
Yeah.
Mainly because I've spoken to all of the people. I've had a debate, at least one debate with most of them now, if not several, and I've never got anywhere with those individuals. So, you know, it's
I
fun
watch.
sometimes, right? It's fun. You know, I like to give circular arguments to Darth Dawkins and watch him explode.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. He kicked me off after a few minutes. He didn't want to have that
Of course he does.
conversation anymore.
Of course he does.
He's insufferable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
last time I was in one of his rooms, he said to me, "All right, yeah, Simon. So why do you think there is no God?" I go, you know what? I can't really be bothered. I just can't be bothered." And he goes, "No, go on, defend your position." Well, do you know what? It's hardly worth it, is it? Because, like, you know, it's a circular argument, so that's all you're going to say. And he goes, "Well, I don't know until you say it." And I go, "Well, you know, okay, I believe there is no God because there is no God." And he went, "That's not an argument." And I went, "Well, it's as good as your argument. So," and then he kicked me.
Yeah. So I think, as to what you
Love
said,
it.
Samos, there is this situation where we have to be able to agree on the basic terms of reality before we can have a conversation about how the world functions and whether there is some ultimate power, working us all like puppets out here. So I think that that's why, especially with fundamentalists, it's important to lay out a few definitions going in that these are when we say these words, when we say evolution, we're talking about this. This micro and macro crap is stupid. This is what evolution is. This is how it's defined. I think that, but whenever you can't agree on the terms of reality, I think that that's where the ridicule comes in, because it's like, okay, if you're just going to refuse to even lay down your presupposition long enough to have a conversation, then I'm just going to make fun of you in an attempt to convince your audience that you're full of shit. And
Now, come on, Joe. If you can't accept that, that we need to include geological evolution in our evolutionary debate, I don't know where to start with you.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't mind. I really don't mind them making personal attacks. If an opponent starts making personal attacks, I think, well, I've won. I've got them now.
Well, no, the ridicule is still to the ideas. It's not the person always. It's
No,
still to
but
the ideas.
Right,
Yeah.
they will react with personal attacks. They can't do
Oh,
the same
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
They can't do the same thing to the atheist arguments, because they're not arguments of certainty. Right?
Yeah.
I'm literally saying it's more likely there is no God. Right? At the end of the day, my idea of what knowledge is nothing to do with certainty. Right? I'm an empiricist, so I just say, well, look, go ahead.
My favorite move with creationists has been to wait until about halfway through the debate and say, okay, you're right, man. Evolution sucks and science is garbage. Now, why should I believe what you do? Because it's the whole burden shifting thing is all about, well, if you can't explain biology and geology and cosmology And if there's any one of these things you can't explain to me in some way that I'm going to understand, then I'm right, and my position, the default position, is the one that everyone should hold. And that's crazy to begin with, but that's why I'm like, a lot of times whenever they're just being incredibly difficult to get an honest answer out of, I'd be like, oh, you're right, man. Let's throw out all of the biological sciences, all of geological sciences. You're right. The Earth was created 6,000 years ago. Evolution's
You know,
bullshit.
I'm glad you
So
brought that up because
yeah,
I think it's unfair that like we as atheists, it's not like I wanted to like do all this reading and shit, but like why is it that it's incumbent upon us to do all this education and like do all this learning and acquiring all this knowledge while y'all get to sit in your ignorance and just always, well, God did it, or of course it's God, and it's like,
Exactly.
and you don't have to explain the mechanism by which your God did anything, but I have to explain evolution at the smallest level, and like why I got to do all that? Why, you know what I mean? Like I just think it's
Because they're
unfair.
stupid,
Because we had
lazy, and don't
faith.
want to learn.
Well, no, we had
yeah,
faith, right? We don't need reasoning. If you didn't understand
Yeah.
We
something,
gotta
it
go read
was,
books and shit. What the fuck?
no. There's no critical thinking in Christianity. There's not. I stand
No.
by that.
None.
no, you
Yeah.
have a
I
book that has
think
all the answers for you. I mean, like,
Exactly.
you don't.
And the
Yeah,
indoctrination that that book is correct, no matter what it may appear, that is correct. It
right.
can't
It's
be wrong.
concrete. It's
So,
not.
right. And if
Yeah,
you don't understand it, that's where the faith comes in. You just trust that you're right. Yeah,
Mhm.
no critical thinking.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
they tend to fall into traps though.
Oh yeah.
Once they get on a roll, they will make a claim, right? Even the
Hmm.
most fundamentalist ones that are really trying hard not to make any claims, they're just trying to attack your position, just trying to shift the burden. Eventually, they say something which is a direct claim. That's what I wait for, and as soon as they do that, I go, "Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, let's talk about that." How do you, citation needed? I mean, an
Right.
example is Jesus is Lord said he was making an argument for the truth of Exodus or something like that, and he was basically saying, yeah, well, we know where Mount Sinai is, and or something like that. We found Mount Sinai, and I said, oh, good, because like in the Bible, because that support that, right? There's no archaeological evidence that that's the case, right? That even the Bible didn't know where
Yeah.
Mount Sinai was, so.
Yeah.
So what archaeological, dig has given you that impression? And of course, he
Yeah.
didn't have a citation; he just heard it, someone saying it, right?
Right.
And he said, "Well,
Right.
it's like it's like the fact that I don't know, but all I can say is it's like the Greek gods, right? The archaeological shovel has disproved the Greek gods. You can't use, a lack of evidence." And I went, "Oh, that's another claim, right there. So yeah, okay, give me the citation that the archaeological dig which disproved the Greek gods." And of course, I know what he's referring to because he thinks that somebody climbed Mount Olympus and didn't find anything. That's not an archaeological. A, that's not an archaeological dig, and B, even if they did, that wouldn't prove there's no Greek gods, right? Because
Right.
it's all spiritual, right? So what are they going to find? The actual home of the gods or something? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And anyway, I just kept on him. Bang, there you go. That's your claim. Now support
Absence
it.
of evidence.
Yeah, just support it now. If you think that you've got evidence for, that Mount Sinai or any of the Exodus
I,
or, then
I mean, there
go.
has been they have found a temple at Mount Sinai. It's a temple to Hathor, the
Hmm.
Egyptian goddess of turquoise and lots of other things,
Hmm.
joy and beauty and fucking and
Yeah, but I don't think that proves
Hmm.
Mount Sinai, does it?
It's my
At
country.
no,
least
but
in the
I mean,
biblical sense. Who's to say that is
if
the Mount
if they
Sinai,
if
right?
so if they say, which I have come across people who do say that, oh, but they have found a temple at Mount Sinai, and I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, I know, it's to Hathor.
Hmm. Sure, I know
It's
that. I
not
know
what
what
you
you're.
think.
I know what they're referring to as well. I've come across that before as well. But there's been loads of that pseudo archaeological people, right? Pseudo archaeological finds there, right? the wheel from one of the chariots of the Egyptians in the Red Sea or something, right?
Ron
Yeah,
Wyatt.
but
Yeah.
this is a
Yeah, that's the guy.
legitimate.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a legitimate fine. I
Well,
mean,
yeah, but it doesn't prove Mount Sinai. That's my point.
of
It's
course not, of
you know.
course not. But it's fun to uh, when they come to me with something they think proves their religion, that it proves the Exodus, and like yeah, it's actually the exact opposite.
Yeah,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, the apologist move on that is whenever you say, well, there was never 6 million Jews enslaved by Egypt that fled, or 2 million Jews. Sorry, the 6 million's a different event. Sorry, the that thing never happened. So their move is then to just go on to the next thing. They never reconcile anything that you tell them, and so it's you try to hold their feet to the fire to that thing you just said. Like, okay, well, this thing never happened. How do you deal with that? And eventually you just get the nuh argument. And
Hmm.
Yeah.
um, that's
Yeah, but
why, like, the last time I talked to Kent, that's why, and I don't really judge like debates on like winning or losing or whatever. Like, it's just a conversation to me. Um, the last time I debated Kent, though, that's why every time he would ramble off a bunch of stupid stuff about science, I pointed out that it's just science now. Yeah, but Kent, you think this is how those things got that way, and so out of the two things, we have this one body of science supported by evidence and novel testable predictions, and my book says a thing, and like, and I made him repeatedly own that and own that yes, I believe in this and this and that. And like, I believe the Bible is true and all these things. And while for his crowd, that isn't really, that doesn't mean anything to most of them. And they're just like,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. But to everybody else listening, that has a different ring to it because it's like, there it is. Like, why should we trust the Bible? We shouldn't. And so it's,
Great point.
yeah, and it goes back to those, like, if we can't agree on the terms of reality, then what are we talking about? Because with Kent, he said that observations of star formation is not based in science, but the Loch Ness monster is, and so what do I have to say? I don't have to say shit to that. I don't owe you anything. Like, you here you are. I'm going to just walk you down the path to say as many stupid things as I can make you say, and I'm not even going to call them out. I'm just going to let
Yeah, I
you
don't.
do it because
You
it's
don't have
it's
to
not
entertain this delusion.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not.
crazy.
You're gonna. Kent Hovind's whole thing relies on quips and little remarks and things. So I took that away from him. Uh,
Right.
he doesn't get to do any of that because I'm gonna let him have all that shit. Say all the crazy shit you want. I want your audience to hear you say as many absurd things as I can get you to say. And that was kind of my approach to that. And like, it seemed to be, I'll say that as far as tripping Kent up, it was effective because he didn't know what to do with any of that. Like, he was mumbling and stuttering and lost. Like, um
yeah,
because you make them own their own ideas, and getting them to make those claims, you sometimes there might be some strategy to figure out how to make them make those claims, and then let them
absolutely.
make them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I completely agree, especially as you say with the fundamentalists. Although Kent's slightly different because he's an evidentialist rather than a presuppositionist.
Yeah.
But they, as I say, they feel honor bound to play on the field of evidentialism.
Yeah.
Simply because they know that they're not strong enough in philosophy to play in the in the metaphysics right ground,
Yeah.
unless they're pre-suppers, and even then you can shut them down relatively quickly now
Mm-hmm.
because we all know now how to deal with the presuppositions arguments. So I think that that's quite a bonus.
Yeah.
Although I've always found Hovind to be like a D grade.
Insufferable.
Well, no, just a D grade intellect. He's
Yeah.
he's not difficult to. get him to say something stupid. Same with Jill, really. He's,
Yeah.
he is a bit
Just
of
let him
a,
do it. Yeah. Yeah.
well, yeah, eventually just keep him talking and he's going to
Yeah.
say something stupid. I mean, and I've got a list of about 6 or 7 things he said, which are just literal contradictions within the sentence.
Yeah.
Uh,
If you try to debate Kent based on the facts of science alone,
hmm
you've already made a mistake. Like,
yeah,
because that's not what
exactly.
that conversation is. No matter how much he wants to deny science and sit there, that's not what it is, even though it appears that way from the outside sometimes. Like, so many people go into talking to Kent and think it's about, well, I'm going to confront him with these facts about evolution that I learned, and what's he going to do? And he's going to do the same thing he always does. He's going to change the subject. He's going to say imagination, and like, he's going to make little quips and snide remarks and stuff, and he's not actually going to address any of the
Mm,
facts that you put out there.
yeah.
While those facts are important, they're important to point out. Um, they they also, you have to rely on a little bit more than that to really deal with him.
Mm,
And I'm not saying that I had some like master class in dealing with Ken Hovind, because I don't think it was that at all. But I do think that I made him say a lot of silly things that and I
yeah.
want him to do that, because I think the creationists that are out there making the most absurd arguments, I think that's the most effective tool we have in those type of conversations,
Yeah.
because their audience hears that, and the more absurd it is, the more likely somebody is to say, "Wait a minute, let me go look that up. Is that right? Because that's kind of weird." And that starts that trip down the rabbit hole of other things. Maybe not, but
Right.
we hope that it does. And inspiring just a moment of curiosity, it can sometimes be the thing that makes all the difference.
Yeah, yeah, I agree, and that's why I think certainly with the fundamentalists, the creationists, etc., using argument ad absurdum is a very effective tactic when you can show that their logic just leads to something completely absurd. I think that has to make them stop and try and defend it. And once they're trying to defend something stupid they've said, they're only digging in a hole even deeper, right? There's no way you can get out of it if they keep digging. So I think that is really effective, number one. And then the second thing is, um, especially with Kent, it's very obvious he's only talking to his crowd. He doesn't give a shit what you say. You can bring the
Mm-hmm.
most logical argument ever, and he can just get out of it by going, "Oh, you see, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about." Right,
Yeah.
In the
and
end,
that's
they'll be
it. Or
scoffers,
his
right?
crowd will just buy that
Yeah.
all day long. So that's
Yeah.
why
Yep.
you have to target his crowd. You're
Yeah.
not
Yeah. And
targeting
Very
him.
true.
You've got to target his crowd and say, okay, yeah, but look what Kent just said there, right? And literally just talk to his crowd, right? As I do with Jill, right? And he once said something like, "Oh, well, your descendants are your ancestors," and you're like, Okay, so what? My descendants are my ancestors. Are my children? Is my father? What are you talking about? And once you put it in such basic terms as that, what? My son is my father. Is that what you're saying? Because that sounds very religious, doesn't
yeah.
it?
Yeah. Uh,
But obviously that is completely counter to the thing, and he's either got to try and explain that or go, yeah, no, that's not what I meant. In which case you
yeah.
got him to dig the hole a little bit deeper.
So there's this thing among atheists where they get and all I can call it is hubris, like, to
Yeah.
where they're very dismissive of even like interacting with creationists because they say such stupid things and stuff. But
hmm
the truth of the matter is that where I'm at, um, like, a large portion of my state believes those things are true. And in the United States, more than a third of adults believe that those things are facts, according to Pew Research.
Right.
So it's not this little fringe thing that a few Christians believe.
Yeah.
It's not that. And I think that people that go around bitching about that and saying that are actually don't get me wrong. The arguments are stupid. They're wrong. They are.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
that doesn't automatically mean that a bunch of people don't believe it.
Yeah.
Because unfortunately we have like an education problem and some other stuff going on there. But so now that being said, I think that if you're going to, like, you're out there and you're one of these atheists that's looking for people to debate and stuff, and by all means, that's you do you, man. I mean, like, do whatever you want to do. But if you're out there looking for that and you think that it's about having facts, like I'm just going to beat them up with facts, um, maybe go back and watch some of the greats uh, within atheism that have debated stupid ideas. Go watch some Hitchens, because Hitchens very rarely laid out any facts, like, other than anecdotal ones. And it wasn't about having the facts and being the most logical, philosophical arguer ever. It was the being effective to the audience that's in front of you. And you need to think about that whenever you're going into these things. Like, how are you going to be effective at getting people to care about what you're saying? Because facts alone isn't going to do that.
Yeah, I couldn't agree
Right.
more. There's certainly a side when you're debating, and like, I just want to reiterate, Joe, that you mean this, but when you're debating particular types of Christians, then rhetoric is as important as the logic that you're using, right? And because they're
Yeah.
not going to change their mind, so you have to trap them somehow, and you can't do it using just logic alone, because they're just going to deny the logic,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that means automatically their side is going to think that they're right. So the logic
Yeah.
means
Again,
nothing.
there's no
So
blueprint for everyone.
using rhetoric is in fact the way that you can influence their side. They're still not going to like it, right?
Yeah.
But that's the seed that you're talking, Zeth. I think you're
Well,
talking about planting.
Yeah.
Is that could just get in a crack in the stones, to use Paul's analogy, and that might be enough to grow a plant to wedge those stones apart to where some light actually gets in.
so I think that the creationist argument is based on feelings. And so how am I supposed to change your feelings with facts alone? So I think using feelings again is the thing. And um, again, there's no blueprint for every conversation or every Christian. It's going to vary with every single person you talk to. The facts will remain the same, and use those for sure. I'm not advocating not to use the facts, but use the facts in a way to try and be effective with who your audience is and who you're talking to. Because the if their argument is based on feelings, then let me destroy it with feelings. Like, let me
Yeah, I
let me
suppose.
point to the absurdity and make you feel silly for believing such things. Like,
Mm.
um, but support that with facts and evidence and good logic. Like, those things have to work hand in hand. It can't be just all one or all the other thing. There has to be, and you have to adjust in real time to whoever you're talking to and whatever
Yeah.
they're saying that particular day.
Yeah.
Um, but
That's most important, right? That
yeah,
you're reacting to what they're saying rather than just spouting out the same old diatribe time and time again, because that's what they're doing. So it is important that when they make this, try to shift the burden, that you say, okay, I'm going to identify that they're shifting the burden and not dodge it, right? I'm perfectly happy, like Daft Dorkwin says, oh no, we can talk about my worldview, but let's just end conceding the last point. If you concede the last point, I'm happy to talk about humanism. But if
yeah.
you don't concede the last point, then we can't get anywhere because there's no common ground, right?
We need
So
to reconcile that stupid thing you just said.
yeah, exactly. And then just make that, and they then, if they want to talk about you, they want to shift the burden still. They've almost got to concede the point, that the last point that was made. Some of them will be happy to do that, and some of them will just rage quit or whatever. But there
I
you go.
like whenever they start throwing around fallacies, and I'm like, they'll say this is a blah 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 fallacy, and I'm like, man, look, guys, if you don't know how to use these fallacies, please stop. You're making
I
yourself
did.
look silly.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
Look,
Agreed.
that's
that's
the
I
move, right?
go ahead. Go
Yes,
ahead,
that
Seth.
is a very real thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
like I was told by a great philosopher that you shouldn't, or I heard it from a great philosopher, I should say, that you shouldn't call out a fallacy. You should explain how they made the fallacy,
Yes,
right? And you
every
can
time.
name it by all means, but say what they did first, and then say, and that is such and such a fallacy,
Yeah,
right? And it's really important not to just say, that's a straw man, and then leave it there.
you're
You
you're
got to say,
arguing
look,
against.
this is
Yeah,
what you said. This is why it's wrong, and
yeah.
the name of the fallacy is X. You know.
I usually say like you're arguing against a position that I never asserted, which is in fact a straw man fallacy. So how do you want to deal with that? And then whenever they accuse me of fallacy, I say, okay, what did I say that was fallacious and how?
Yes.
And they never, respond to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course.
Let's move on to the next thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Just
I
gotta.
actually had one creationist on here where I said, okay, let's quit talking about science and what Mary Schweitzer said and all that stuff. Let's quit talking about that for a minute and tell me why I should believe what you believe. Like, I'll give you evolution's false. I'll go ahead and give it to you. Now let's move on. And they immediately went right back to arguing about evolution. Like they don't have anything else.
Mhm.
Science denial is because they think that if science is wrong, their default position is correct, and that's a non sequitur.
Yeah.
So
Well,
yeah,
argument from ignorance as well. But yeah,
but yeah, it's
or incredulity, whichever you prefer.
yeah, and that's why like I don't care about really like I'll engage in a debate if you want. And I would love to engage in debates where I actually get to go and do some research and put together some facts and all that stuff and learn about a thing deeper. But so often with creationists, there's none of that involved. It's
That actually brings me to another point. I get frustrated with, and it's not that I blame people for doing this, but on our side, but it does kind of annoy me a little. Is when they make the debate topic two-way, right?
yeah,
Really, a debate topic should just be on one subject, right? You
yeah,
know, is the existence of God true? Right? I mean, maybe you could say that that's a two-way because I'm going to show that it's false, but that gives you the positive that they're saying yes, it is true, and you're holding the opposite. No, it's not. Right? But if you
yeah,
say something like which is better, being a theist or an atheist, then that's two topics, right? That's atheism is true and theism is true, all in the same topic, and that's not a good debate topic because you need one person to hold the antithetical statement, right? And that's
yeah.
just how that works. So it does annoy me, especially with modern day debate,
Oh
the fact
yeah.
that so many of the debates are badly titled, and that's why they lead to shit shows.
Yeah, that's actually why I never went back after my first debate there because they told me the topic was one thing and told my interlocutor that it was another thing,
Uh-huh.
and so we were arguing two different points, and I was like, well, and I even pointed that out early, like as soon as I started to talk, I said, well, I was told that this was the topic, so that's what I'm going to argue here. I'm going to
Hmm.
take the position that the geologic column is strong evidence of evolution, and yeah, so as soon as that debate went off, they removed it.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Okay. I didn't realize he did that, but yeah. I
yeah, I
mean,
debated
I had to
Taylor.
unsub because they allowed some guy on. They started doing political debates and they allowed
Yeah,
some guy, which is just a racist piece of shit, on. And then he started trolling by just eating on camera. So I typed in chat to James, right? James, can you just take this guy's camera down? Because I don't want to watch someone scoffing their food in such a, you know,
yeah.
a
This is so
demeaning way.
unimportant to them that they're just gonna like,
And if you can't control your guests like that, then take them off
mm,
screen for God's sake. And he didn't. So I just
mm,
said, "Sorry, James, I'm unsubbing." That's it.
yeah,
And then he took him off screen. And I'm like, "Too
yeah,
late now, buddy." But there you go.
yeah.
If you're
No,
gonna have people
I
like that
agree
on,
completely.
that are
If
just
if you're not if you're not going to be an honest interlocutor and you're not there to actually have a conversation and talk, then fine, that's fine. But quit wasting my time. Like, uh,
yeah,
I don't owe you an education, but here I am anyway. So if you're not going to take it seriously, then fuck off.
yeah.
Uh, but
I think I did once. I went on there once, really early in the channel's time, because That was when I was debating people. And I think I lasted about 10 minutes before I just went, yeah, sorry, mate, this is a joke. I'm
Yeah.
out of here.
Well,
I'm not
they
interested,
invited me back.
not interested in debating someone that's just going to naysay everything I'm saying or not engage with the topic. It's crazy.
They invited me back here a couple months ago to debate Donnie from Standing for Truth, and I turned it down
Hmm.
reflexively, and Austin ended up going and
Smart
doing it.
move.
Mm. Which is weird because, like, I met Donnie on his channel, and we had a really good conversation. I mean, it was just like a
Yeah,
phenomenal
Donnie's great.
conversation with him. And this is quite a long time ago now. This is before Standing for Truth, before he got that identity. And then he came back up again right at the beginning of Standing of Truth. So I went in and said hi, and he didn't really remember me. But I said, oh, great. We had a really good conversation. He went, oh, yeah, yeah, that's fine. I said, so how's your wife? Because I spoke to his wife and he said, oh, well, we're divorced. And I went, oh, okay, that's a shame because she was really nice. What happened? And then he got really pissed with me, of course. But he just said, "It just didn't work out. It didn't work out." And I went, "Okay, well, something's happened." And ever since then, I was watching him, and I went, "Well, no wonder. I mean, you don't have good conversations with atheists anymore, do you?"
Yeah. So, question for the panel here: Who is worse, Ken Ham or Ken Hovind? We'll start with
Can't
Blue.
hold.
Ooh, Hoven.
Yeah.
I thought they
Uh,
were.
Hovind, I
Well,
would say Hovind too, but then who has the most reach and is
Yeah.
probably doing the most
yeah,
harm
Yeah,
widespread would be Ham.
but
Yeah.
who
yeah.
invites their pedophile best
They
friend to bring a kid to there, which he sets up a special house for them to be in? The kid is molested,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, I
mm,
say Kent
I
Hovind.
mean, only 2 children have drowned there. That's good, right?
yeah,
Only
great track
two?
great track record, Kent.
But the dad loves the place. He does
Oh
not.
yeah, and they're coming back
They do not.
as you do.
I don't think they're coming back anytime soon. I think
Hey,
that's not how that
yeah.
works.
1-star review, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Mhm.
I've
Tom,
I've never I've never seen them in the same hangout together, so I think they're the same person.
uh,
Can't, they
so
don't like each
I
other,
think
from what I
I would
understand.
say, yeah, I would
They
say
don't like each
Hoven.
other because of Eric Hovind is working with Ken Ham, and
Yeah,
Kent and Eric aren't friends since Kent put Eric's mom in jail for his own crimes. And then when Kent himself got out of jail, he just wanted to catch up where he had gotten off. And Mama Joe said, fuck that shit. She probably didn't use those words because she's a very uh, meek woman.
oh,
Um,
she probably did.
so Eric
Probably did.
stole his underwear and his pocket knife, and Kent cannot get over that fact.
He's still sour about that.
so.
Yep.
I think it depends on
Ah,
what you mean by worse. So, like, who's the
yeah.
worst? Like, who's got the worst arguments and says the silliest thing? That's obviously Ken Hovind. Although Ken Ham has his share of those too. But
Yeah,
who is the worst? Like the most dangerous and threatening? That would be Ken Ham because of
by
his
far.
attack
Yeah.
on children.
Yeah.
The
Because of what?
his attack on children, moving into homeschooling and
Yeah.
setting
Oh,
amphitheaters full of children and making them repeat that the Earth is 6,000 years old and that evolution is a lie and stuff like that. So it just depends on what metric you're weighing those things out in. But they're both disgusting
Yeah.
grifters, like in their own way.
but but I mean, at the same time, you said the thing about homeschooling. Kent's entire stick started with his DVDs
Mhm.
that were used for homeschooling.
Sure. Yeah, no, and I think if you went like historically, I think Kent Hovind has a longer track record and probably has a larger following even over that period of time. But it again, it's just about what
But like
metric and are we talking?
currently,
Yeah,
ham is more of a threat than.
right. Yeah. So it just depends on how you're looking at it. I agree with you completely though. Deviant Outcast. Lots of people were raised watching Kent Hovind seminars as part of their homeschooling. It was shown in religious private schools across the country, and it's how Kent Hovind became famous. And he's used that fame and his charisma that he has to further damage education and expand science denial. So I would absolutely agree that's true, but it just depends on how you're looking at it. Really,
Yeah,
there's good arguments for both sides. There's
Basically,
good people on both sides, folks.
the parents who grew up on Ken Hovind are now turning to Ken Ham for
Yeah,
their kids. Yeah.
yeah. It's just Ken Ham is more well funded now and has a lot of political power because of it. So,
yeah,
but
that's of course a danger in and of
I would
itself.
argue that more people listen to Ken Hovind, though. It's just,
Eh,
yeah,
Well,
I
one
always
thing
heard.
for
Well,
sure,
I
his
mean, like,
following is much more committed,
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Maybe that's the better
and
way to put it.
diehard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
I mean,
Sometimes
because
it's
like
the
not.
idiots that are the loudest.
Yeah, I mean, but like not with us, but like with like in the general population, a lot of people have heard of the art museum. They couldn't tell you who's behind it though. They would have no
Right.
idea who Ken Ham
Exactly.
Oh,
is.
sure, yeah,
But the stuff that he's done, like the fucking art museum, like that, it leads to massive issues with what kids are learning and what kids grow up with, and you know, like if you fuck up a kid's education, it takes a lot to get that back on track, if ever.
Yeah.
Has Ken Ham ever had some kind of legal trouble? Has he
not
I would think
been
criminal,
not.
no.
in jail? No.
Mm-mm.
No, I mean they did some shady things with the Ark when they, with all the
Very.
the stuff, but I don't think anything criminal. And that's another point against Hovind is just the outright crimes that he commits and
Mm-hmm.
really brags about. The
Yep.
dismissal of children being abused on his property and then blowing it
Mm-hmm.
off like it's nothing. That overall, if we're keeping score, that's another big point against Hovind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
Though
It's just
it does make Ken Ham potentially more dangerous because uh, from like if we speak about political influence,
Hmm.
uh, I think maybe legitimate people are more prone to um not side with, but affiliate themselves with someone like Ken Ham rather than someone like Kent Hovind because he
yeah.
does have a bad name.
Well,
Yeah, well,
so go ahead.
Maybe.
no, well, I was just going to say no one takes Kent Hovind seriously, including the government. He's a known sovereign citizen by definition. He's a tax protester. He has said some of the most insane things publicly. Um,
Hmm.
Nobody in government or the legal system would look at him at
Mike
all and
Johnson.
say, "Yeah, let's get hooked up with this dude and go public about
Hmm.
it."
Yeah.
Ken Ham, on the other hand, has a more polished image, and he's kept his nose relatively clean, all things considered. Uh, yeah, much
Yeah,
more likely to get a lot of pull. And then there you have the introduction of all these crazy laws, which is another huge can of worms. It's
Yeah.
yeah.
Christian nationalist stuff, but
Ken Ham has millions of dollars and power behind him. Kent Hovind's individual acts are worse, though. So,
that's
like,
fair way. Yeah.
Yeah.
so depending on how you look at it, I guess. Like, I think if we're going just on like who says the stupidest things, like definitely Ken Hovind. Like,
Oh, No one can beat him. I don't think anyone can beat
But
that guy.
they agree on most things, remember? So it's like Ken Ham usually takes this approach of he lays out right up front, we are presuppositionalists, and that's what we're going to do. The Bible is true, and we have to start with God's word, not man's word, and
Right.
that's kind of his whole thing. But Kent Hovind's a little different in that aspect. So like Simos was saying, he's an evidentialist, and it's he again, it's this: if I poke holes in science, if I commit to science denial, then the default position is Christianity and fundamentalism, and that's just crazy talk. But yeah, so it's just in what aspect? I would say individually, Kent Hovind is worse, but on a broader scale, Ken Ham is backed by more money and power. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
So
But that's what's so dangerous about the Christian nationalism.
sure.
Is because it's literally binding groups which have previously fought each other, right? How
Yeah.
Mm.
many times have I heard like Protestants or evangelicals say that Catholics are not Christian? I
Yeah.
in over the years, I'm like, oh yeah, keep doing that, keep doing that. That's a good thing. And yet here we are. They're almost going, well, it doesn't matter. We all believe in Jesus, don't we? And they can just like gloss over the fact.
Oh, they absolutely give a shit. They
Yeah,
just want to wipe everybody else out first.
but that's
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. That's what's so dangerous about it. That's why I think
Hmm.
it's really important to start standing up as atheists and reclaim this. I mean, when I first came into this community, there was a phrase which is where the internet is where Christianity goes to die. Real
Mm.
happening. I mean, there were just weren't Christians able to come into the
What happened to your mic there, Simos?
We lost
Yeah.
you, Simos.
really.
You
Okay.
drifted out. Okay, you're back.
All right, try it again.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As I say, I don't know where I was up to, but yeah, people used to say the internet was a place where Christianity came to die, and it was really true. I mean, there weren't any strong apologists or apologetic arguments that were used on the internet at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And now here we are, like 15 years later, and it's 50-50 as far as I can see. There are programs like IP, Inspiring Philosophy, and Capturing Christianity, and Standing for Truth, which are doing a pretty good job at avoiding debates to the point where they are gathering the Christians with them. This happened because a divide that happened, right? Because there was an internal struggle between. I feel this is purely speculation now on my part, but I feel it started with the rise of new atheism and the idea that P.Z. Myers brought up, which is atheists stand for a particular worldview. New
Yeah.
atheism is a worldview. And I think that was the most detrimental thing because it made all of the agnostics split off and say, we're no longer part of this atheist group, right? And as soon as
Yeah.
that happened,
Right.
atheists went from being the majority on the internet to a small minority, you know?
Yeah. And
And
they
it,
still
did,
make
it
those
didn't help.
arguments to this day.
Yeah, and it didn't help that some atheists or some agnostics really wanted to push that agenda in order to try and gain channel members themselves. And then
Yeah.
as soon as that happened, they pushed the theists away. Right? As soon as the theists thought they were coming into like hangouts which were just atheists or strong atheists, right? Then they didn't want to come in because they knew they'd get their asses handed to them, right?
Yeah.
Whereas when there were agnostics in there, people were a little more, yeah, come on, you say your point, I will say our point. It can all just be a conversation, right? And as soon as the agnostics got involved, wow, that was the beginning of the end, and I didn't see many theists after that. Um,
Yeah.
we used to have like a 24-hour hangout, right? Going. Somebody used to have a 24-hour, a trans person
Mm.
called Nadia, and she used to know as many theists as she did atheists and agnostics. And she would literally put the word out to the theists first, get a room full of theists, and then put the word out to the atheists and fill that up with the rest. And we used to have great conversations for ages and ages.
Yeah.
Um, And then as soon as her channel was shut down, mainly due to internal pressure from atheists, I feel, and criticism from atheists, then we all moved to another person's channel, Steve McRae, and he literally fractured the community by
Yes, he
banning
did.
a load of atheists from attending, so he could
Yeah.
have debates with theists, and because he wasn't a very good debater, and he was very aggressive, the theists eventually just went, well, we're not going in there. You
Yeah.
know, if we're not even going to, if you're just going to interrupt us all the time, then what's the point? We can't even get our points out, so we're not going in. And that was it. That's the last I saw of the theist community for ages, until they finally just got bored of talking to each other and decided to come back to some of the atheists that they knew.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Anyway, that's my kind of history lesson of the atheist community in my side of
yeah, no.
the great
No, I
debate.
think you're right. I was around for the non sequitur show and all that
Oh God, yeah.
back in its heyday, and then but I wasn't like interacting with any of the atheist community. I was just consuming content at that point, and so but yeah, whenever the non sequitur show fell apart and Steve started getting all crazy and stuff, like things changed and debate and everything as far as and that allowed modern day debates to kind of fill that vacuum and
Yeah, to a large degree, yeah, to a large
yeah
degree.
and
I mean,
where
I
things come
I
in.
used to like modern day debate when it
Me
started.
too.
I thought,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, this is a place that at least it's just a debate channel, right?
Yeah.
You know, people, there's going to be two sides talking. It's not going to be interruptions. We used to do that in Nadia's with 10 of us in a room.
Yeah.
You know, we'd just decide that two people were going to have a chat and let them go for it for an hour or so. And then
Right.
we'd all start commenting and stuff, you know, and have a round table discussion. And that was fine.
Yeah.
Everybody controlled themselves, but um, I don't know. That never actually happened with. As soon as McRae got control of a room, that was it. He
Yeah.
would shut people down and then just interrupt people at will,
Yeah.
and that's just not how a moderator should work, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
All right. Well, let's land this plane.
Alrighty.
Who wants to go first?
I will, if you don't mind. I just want to say Steve McRae is the bugger on the lip of the internet.
Yeah.
A booger, I think you Americans say.
Yeah.
Booger.
Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Um, that's what I think. Yeah, look, there's nothing more. I mean, I've said everything I need to say, really. But yeah, just let's not be too attacking straight up. You let them deserve to be attacked before you attack them.
True.
And then the other thing is, again, um, the atheist community, inverted commas, or the direct debate community, we need to work on being a community, right? Finding things that we have in common rather than things we don't. And it's not going to be atheism half the time. And that's why I say defend your positive worldviews when you're going
Mhm.
up against Christians. If you've naturally come to the end of the conversation with a Christian or they're a fundamentalist, then show their audience, if you're in front of their audience, what your positive worldview is, and then defend it. Because that's equally a way to get through to them, to show that there are alternatives, right? Quite often, the fundamentalists rely on the black and white fallacy of just saying, my worldview is true, and I can show that by showing that your worldview is false,
Yeah.
right? And if you can just give a credible alternative that is just plausible, then that disproves their point straight away, even if it's through the back door. So that's something that we can all think about, because we do know our worldviews, our personal worldviews.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All
that's
right.
personal.
Good stuff. Go check out Simo's Funk over on his channel, and you're over on Saturday Night at the Atheist
Whenever
whenever they're
that's
on over there
it's on,
doing that.
yeah. My channel is just at Simon's Funk, all one word.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna kick you out and let the next person go.
Thank you so much for having me on, Joe. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks. Come by anytime. All right. Who's next?
I guess it's me. I genuinely just want to say congratulations to you, Joe. You, I really appreciate you. I humbly consider you a friend. We've always had great conversations, and I hope you keep it up. And if you need a slightly short but very stubborn Viking to get you some more subs in a perhaps semi-violent, in a way, I'm here and I'll help you out.
Yeah, of course.
Seriously, congratulations. This is awesome, and I hope you continue on as you have.
Well, thank you, Deviant Outcast. I always love having you on, and thank you for being so supportive along the way. And you're a mod in a couple places for me, and you do a great job. And
Hmm.
I appreciate you. Since I appreciate you, I'm going to kick you out, and we'll let the next person go.
Yes, sir. Do it.
All right. I want Lil to be last, kind of. So, uh, just yourself,
All
pick.
right. Yeah, that's fine. Joe, I appreciate the time, man, having me on. And again, congratulations. Um, your channel was something that I found when I first stepped foot in this community. I had not made a single piece of content. And because of you and some others, AJ at the time, Atheist Junior, is kind of how I got introduced to you. Uh, you have a small part in me being here at all. And I just appreciate the work you put in and sometimes the BS you put up with. But I'm proud of you, dude. Keep up the good work.
Well, I appreciate you. You and Lil just had a talk over on your channel, Ambush
Yep.
Hmm.
Apostate. It's
Yep.
there
That
in
video's in. It's videos in post production. It'll be out next week. Very good conversation.
Woohoo!
But yeah, come
yeah,
sub
good
and
stuff.
hang out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, that's awesome. Go sub.
And if I didn't say it, Seth, thanks for all your help at the art protest, and it was awesome to
Oh
meet
yeah.
you and get to hang out
Oh,
and stuff.
great
I appreciate
experience,
it.
man.
All
All
right,
right,
I'll
y'all.
see
Have
you
a great
soon.
night. Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
All right. Jester, what's up?
Hello, hello. Just wanted to congratulate you as well. And tell everyone that, they should definitely avoid that Joe guy. He seems like a terribly, horribly great atheist and secular humanist, and the kind of stand up guy who would come mow your lawn at a moment's notice.
I used to literally do that. So,
I know.
uh, yeah. No, Jester. Thanks. It's always great having you around, and you always have something interesting to say and make me
Hmm.
laugh. And
I
you,
I I did try tonight to point out 2 points. I remember one of them. If somebody starts making the personal attacks against you in a debate, that is where you have total permission, in my opinion, to pull out the douchiest shades that you can and start counting prop money. Like, I know you don't view it as a win or lose thing, but if they're attacking you like that, you've won. You've
right.
won
Oh
the
yeah.
conversation. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I agree with that to some extent. I mean, you do feel, as soon as they start, well, you're stupid, and you want to eat babies or whatever. Like as soon as they start that stuff, I'm like, well, I do consider that a win because if you break down to where you're no longer arguing your points, you're just bitching at me. Then yeah, I do count that as a win. So I'll
Hmm.
revise that. But thank you, Jester, and thank you for always sending super chats and stuff. I see you send a couple
Yeah.
dollars and stuff, and I really do appreciate that and recognize that you do that often. So thank you
Yep.
so much for that, and I'll see you soon, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
time for the. Oh, yeah,
you're back.
hopefully I get more time for you guys soon. But
Well,
have a good one. And before I go, I do want to know what Lil is playing with.
Yarn.
Okay. I've been hearing you rustle all this time, and I'm like, okay, what is it? What is the
Sorry.
toy?
No, it's yarn. I decided that this blanket I'm a few days into it and I was deciding like, I don't really like the way that looks, so I decided to go ahead and unravel it and redo it before I get too into it. So
That's fair.
yeah.
I'm
Oh,
picky. I tend to be a bit of a perfectionist, so it's just like if it doesn't look right, I'm gonna keep starting and restarting it until I get it right. So
yeah. All right, Jester. It's good to hear from you, and I'll see you soon. Okay. Oh, wrong person.
I was about to say.
Now, I would say for him to tell everybody where they could find you, but it would take you all night to list off all the things you're always doing everywhere.
Lil of All Trades is my channel. I'm over there. I'm here on Politicality. I'm on Ember's channel quite a bit, and I am also on the Java and Jugs Morning Crew on Monday mornings.
And she just
And
did a
there's other
video
places I'm going to
with
be.
yeah, no, I'm just giving you a hard time. Yeah, check Lil and us out Sunday. This will be our first Sunday show on Politicality, and Thursday,
Mm-hmm.
both at 1 p.m. Eastern. And you know, you recently kind of me and you recently teamed up to do the Politicality thing, and after talking a little bit and stuff, we were like, okay, this is going to work. This is going to be good stuff,
Oh, it's
and it
been
has
fun.
been. It's been really cool, and we're doing. I think we're doing a great job, and I
Mm-hmm.
look forward to doing that. So it was important to have both people like Dave, who's been here from the very beginning, and people who also now are part of this channel and part of the future of it. So it was really cool to do that.
Yeah.
I do want to say this whole journey to where I am now, 1,500 subscribers, and to some people that may be nothing, it may, whatever. And in the scheme of YouTube as a whole, 1,500 subscribers is not a huge number or whatever. But I feel very accomplished at the community that's been built here and the people that I get to talk to every week doing this. And it's it's not because I want to prove Christianity wrong or that I think I'm going to change people's political position or any of those things. It's not any of those that makes me want to continue to do this. It's the getting to come and interact with all of you guys and the things that I learned from you guys and all that stuff that makes it all worthwhile for me and why I do this. It's it's fun. I get that bonus of it. It's fun to get to sit and see what people are going to say in chat and hear what silly thing someone's going to present me with. I never know day to day, but it's really fun. Oh, hey, Mark. Good to
Mark!
see you. And so it's really getting to sit and have conversations and learn from
Mm-hmm.
everybody else that makes me better at what I do. And so as much as you guys think that you're congratulating me for doing this, I congratulate you for doing it because it wasn't me, it was you. So yeah, for sure. Thursdays and Sundays, 1 p.m. Me and Lil will be on. I'm adding lots of stuff all the time. Tomorrow I will be on over on Vandalia at 7 p.m. Eastern, having a conversation over there.
I will be
And
over there next, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, Valentine's Day.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Talking about
So
Christian Ashwood. Woohoo!
yeah, I
Apparently
will.
that's kind of my thing.
Yeah, wherever it is you guys follow me at, I'll post links and stuff to that. So everybody can find that and come over and watch if you want and be part of the conversation as you do here. So Mark says celebrate the small things, Joe. We really need positive things lately. Yeah, no, And to be honest, every time, every day that I look and the channel's grown like a couple subscribers, Laura gets tired of hearing me say it because I'll be like, "Hey, Laura, I've now have 1,020 subscribers, 1,035 subscribers." Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always surprised the channel keeps growing, and I always think every milestone is the last one, and it never is. Here we are
Mm.
doing this again. And I can't help but come and celebrate each one of them, whether it's 1,000 or 2,000, or I'll be here for
Mm-hmm.
all of them. Now, if the channel starts growing by millions at a time, obviously I can't. There's no way we'll have to do all those streams combined into one. But I don't think we got to worry about that. But the again, it's not
Mm-hmm.
it's you guys that make me want to keep doing it. So I
Mm.
congratulate you and thank you. But you got anything else, Lil?
No, just it's been amazing, and I am having a blast doing politicality with you. And congratulations.
Yeah. Well, thank you. And tomorrow on Vandalia, Sunday, politicality at 1 p.m. Bye, guys.
Mm-hmm. Bye.